Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It is time for some AEUS the Mountain. Without further ado, I will turn it on over to my boy, Red.
Oh, I thought you were running the game.
Oh, geez, I didn't do any prep, dude.
I'm red at primary color, and I am running AEUS the Mountain for these lovely folks. We're going to do a big recap because it's been a little bit since we played. So I will. I'm not going to bully my players into giving me a recap because I leaked out that most of them remember. It's been a month, I believe. So essentially what happened was each of you have a different reason, but you are currently working for the mountain, a tethered that is sort of the lord of the land, and yeah, each of you have different reasons. Let's see. Alice is in debt, crippling debt, which is relatable.
Yikes.
Sadly.
Yes.
A debt thrust upon her by her mentor who passed. And let's see, let's go over all the characters one at a time. So yeah, that's Alice. I'll also show the stream, the artwork again, just for fun. Why not?
Oh, good. Love it.
Mikolai is working for the mountain in exchange for help because his livelihood is being threatened by a gang. The Stone Gang, the Big Stone Gang. Oh, there's Mikolai. Stoneworker. I'm gonna do Derek's character last because he is a piece of work. Stoneworker. Don't you laugh. The Stoneworker is a tether that has come from a faraway land in order to sort of prove himself. He's sort of on, well, let's say, academic suspension, and he's sort of. I don't know. I might let Omni explain this.
Sure.
It's difficult.
Yeah, no problem. The Stoneworker is on pilgrimage. He's from the city of Glaswell, down way south beyond the borders of the mountain. And the city he's from is ruled by another tethered by the name of the Glazier, who does his best to train tethered and help them restrain themselves. But the Stoneworker has problems with anger. And so the Glazier basically said, go find your patience and come back. Or don't come back at all. And so he's here trying to find purpose and balance in his life so that he can come back home.
He doing him best.
Yeah. he's trying.
Lastly, but certainly not leastly, Nihilus is tethered from a country across the drink known as Tatastris. His reason for being here to the players is not necessarily clear. Nihilus knows why he's here, but the players don't really need to know why he's here. So he is accompanied by a few servants, of course, because you can't have a dastardly, well, he's not a villain, what should we call him? Troublesome player character without having a few manservants, one of which died, which was funny. And then you immediately found another one. So, easy come, easy go, I guess. So, like I said, each of you have your reasons for working for the mountain, but now you have geared up and are readying to embark on your expedition to Watershed and beyond. Oh yes, the goal at hand was the mountain wants you to eliminate a threat to the kingdom, kingdom quote unquote, the realm rather, that supposedly is across the way in Watershed, or maybe even up through the canyon, just to the east. So, without further ado, let me fix some things, because there's a lot of shit in my face right now. Let's get some light wind ambiance. So, do I get something to keep track of you guys on the map? That would be appropriate, wouldn't it? a circle. How's that? You are here. Perfect. Maybe I'll make it red so it's easier to see. Boop. Okay. So, you lot are currently right here at this location, and you are departing the mountain. When would you like to leave? Are you leaving early in the morning, late in the evening, somewhere between? What are we thinking?
I think we at least wanted to get a full night's rest, and get those provisions all stocked up. So I figured, like, either early morning or late afternoon. But I don't think the heat of the day is a good idea to travel with.
Yeah,
Well, I
probably.
mean, I'm sorry, go.
Oh, I was just gonna agree that early in the morning's probably a good idea.
Thank you for the sub, the resub, Red. That's appreciated, dude.
Buddy.
Yeah, early morning sounds good.
Gian, what do you think? You're muted, man.
Yeah, I'm also partial to the early morning because Nikolai is a worker. Shops early.
I respect the grind. So, to the eastern side of the mountain, it's actually a little bit cold almost. There's patches of snow sort of like littered across the wide open grassy valley. I do have art for this, were it not? Here you go. This is from the artist Piotr Durham. Magic the Gathering. I'm just giving proper credit where credit is due. But I just figured I'd, in the literal sense, paint a picture for you. So yeah, you're departing early in the morning, so the sun's hardly over the horizon, and the sky is sort of for those of you that have lived here, the sky is like this, just what you'd expect to see, like orange and almost pink, as it's slowly turning into blue over the course of the day. But for those of you that aren't from here, which would be our two tethered, you're not sure how to feel. You're not used to like vastly colorful skies. You're used to sort of dark and dreary and bleak, things being blotted out by dust and ash.
I'm sorry, I will be right back. Just literally 2 seconds. Our food just got delivered.
Oh, you're good.
Honestly, that would be a little bit unnerving. I mean, the stoneworker's used to living on a mountain, so he's kind of above a lot of like the grossest of weather. But he didn't live particularly high up it, so this would still be cleaner than he's used to for sure. So probably just like, I don't think you'd trust it, being perfectly honest. It seems like it's too good a day, something's gonna go wrong.
Sorry, I was talking to Natalie.
No, you're good. The air in the valley is surprisingly breathable. It's sort of.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. The air in the valley is incredibly breathable. It's sort of for those of you that have lived in sort of denser climates, which would be the stoneworker and nihilist. Both of you are used to living in places where it's not very easy to breathe. It's sort of like the air is sort of dense and choked. But here, air flows freely. So it's while you may be taken off guard by the sort of saturated landscape, the air is at least easy to breathe.
Silas hates it. The awe-inspiring, like, natural beauty is absolutely downright despicable to him. He's like doing his best to keep his head like down at the ground and just look right in front of him, and that's it.
He's gonna find a nuclear bomb. I know what I must do. Okay, so a lot of you are like uneasily traveling together. those other than Nihilus are sort of catching eyes from Octavia, this regal sort of what you'd figure to be some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Speaker is a good word for it. She's sort of the bookie in that regard. And there's this sort of hunched, old-looking fellow, just kind of like wringing his hands as he looks around and like takes in things. He's masked, and you know, and you can feel their eyes on you every now and then, like a sort of gaze of mistrust as you're making your way down this very, very long road, which is quite simply just carved to be a road by wagon wheels. It isn't one solid road. It's mostly just grass that has been trampled over and over again over the decades. It seems like a lot of people don't really have a reason to leave their towns or cities anymore. In that regard, you can sort of figure that the mountain's very self-sufficient. Probably what makes it so strong. They don't have to rely on outside allies, or so you think.
That's fair.
So we're outside the town.
Yes, you are. You are currently
Oh.
leaving.
Imagine that both Octavia and Decimus are like burked out, by the way.
Oh yeah, they're like dressed to I don't want to say the nines because they're not looking really nice. They're just like covered and
Yeah,
and
head to toe. You can't see
furred.
any of our skin. Like,
Yeah.
no.
They look very out of place. But the weather, for Ellis and Mikolai, you're both sort of used to the waking up to about 40 degrees, just on average. It's very cool. And you like the sort of chill in the air on your skin. Not so sure about the stoneworkers. I'm pretty sure the stoneworkers from a hotter climate, if I'm remembering correctly.
Glasgow is actually a pretty stark mountain, so like it's in it's in a colder climb for him. Like depending on where you are on the mountain itself, like Glasgow at bottom level, pretty like normal temperatures. Like again, not quite as cold as this, but like in like a more normal range. But the higher you get, the colder and more bitter it gets, especially towards like the mid tiers where he probably operated out of. Like depending on the time of day, you can get. There's a reason everyone in Glasgow wears fur. I'll put it that way.
I see. Who would like to roll?
John, what were you trying to say?
What's up?
No, I was just gonna have Mikolai make a comment, but he can wait for it.
No,
We're still doing. Oh, I was just gonna say it's a lovely day to take a walk.
Certainly not the worst, that's for sure.
The Nihilus's lackeys wholly ignore you. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Just counting something real quick. Don't mind me. That's not ominous at all. Who wants to roll D4 for me?
Sure, why not? Feeling up for it if you folks are.
Go for it.
Okay, so roll 1d4.
The Culture Core game rolls D4. How predictable.
What a surprise! 3.
Surprise. So this valley is very open. It's not necessarily flat. I'd say it's open enough to where you can sort of see the horizon line, probably like a decent mile into the distance. And you know, there's some rolling mist sort of like escaping as the day rolls on. And let's say you've been traveling for about 3 hours. So it's starting. The sky is turning this nice, vibrant blue, and clouds are like cotton balls being stretched across the sky. And the grass around you is sort of just getting the morning dew blown off of it in a very gentle breeze. You see a man walking, and you realize that they aren't necessarily walking towards you. They're obviously going someplace different, but their eyes are on the road, most certainly. And it's pretty evident that this person would be able to see you, but they just choose to keep walking anyway, and they're getting closer and closer.
What do they look like?
What do they look like? They, to you, they're just wearing a large, heavy-looking duster coat, probably made out of animal hide or what have you, but high collar to sort of protect the face and stuff like that. It's obvious that this person's the kind to live off of the land. You can't really see their face, but their outfit's pretty evident that they are practiced at the art of survival. On their back, they don't actually have a firearm. They actually have a bow and arrow with a quiver at their hip. And it looks rudimentary, to say the least.
Can I talk to them?
Absolutely. Are you approaching him, or are
good.
you waiting for him to get close to talk?
I'll approach him.
He sort of stops. And the one thing you notice about him is he's actually wearing decent boots, so you can figure that he probably didn't make them.
Good day, friend.
He just looks up at you and examines you.
Are you a hunter?
He'd nod.
He nodded.
Yes.
You have anything for trade?
He put a hand on his chin and considered that for a moment. This individual had a very, very intense face. Sort of like they were locked in a moment of distress and doubt. But they'd sort of open up their jacket, and you'd see that they had just an array of different animal hides and rabbits sort of like hung from them. This guy kind of stunk, to be quite fair. He smelled like what you would expect curing materials to smell like. Tannery.
It just smells awful.
Yeah, you know, he smells quite awful. He doesn't look awful, he just smells it, because to tan a hide, they probably don't have tannic acid, so you know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta pee on it.
Hey, so off the record, did we bring any food or anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely packed provisions.
Oh, okay. So,
I think Natalie said you packed provisions for, I want to say 5 days of travel? That's what I
I
recall.
think so. Sounds about right.
okay.
I think we agreed to do that after we had our failed hunting trip before we went on our thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you discovered something at least, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't edible, and it certainly wasn't willing to let us take a bite.
It
So
was most certainly edible. You're just a coward.
I was the only person nonplussed by the idea.
Yeah, Ellis was not gonna eat that. And she lives in the forest, and she's eaten some bad stuff before.
Yeah.
I'll ask him if he has like venison or I guess rabbit. I'll trade with him.
He'd open up the other side of his jacket and pull out what appears to be some sort of preserved hare, HARE hair. It's sort of brown. It's quite big. It could probably see the problem with rabbit that it's not very filling. You definitely.
It's not nutritious.
That too.
You can eat yourself to death on rabbit. You'll
Rabbit starvation.
You could starve to death eating rabbit.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Rabbit tasty.
I point. I say, how much?
He put a hand to his chin. What have you got to trade?
I forgot money.
I am afraid that I have no value in money.
Oh man, my possessions are empty.
Is there something you need, perhaps, that we can offer?
He'd think about that. Perhaps you can offer me protection?
From what?
The road. It's a perilous road. There's a lot of wild creatures and highwaymen. It's gotten a lot more dangerous in the past few years. What's that fortune cookie say?
says fortune cookie, but I can't read it.
Says the simplest answer is to act.
Oh.
Nice.
Use fortune cookies to make your D&D campaign.
I would love
That
that.
would actually work, though.
That should clearly be a challenge. Run an entire campaign DM'd based off of a fortune cookie prompt.
Oh. Okay, can I do an insight check on this guy?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. That would be.
How do you listen or what?
I think listen would be appropriate for this.
Okay. Who's got a good listen?
Evidently, you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking.
I guess I can roll. I'll roll
You
it.
guys can justify a check to like.
I have a good listen. I have 50.
Okay, yeah. If you can like justify something like psychoanalysis is one.
I was gonna ask if I could use psychology to like try to figure this fucking dude out.
Yeah, sure.
Once they were done with their thing.
And I think I'd like to look him over for weapons to see what he's carrying on him. Like, not, discreetly, just kind of like, I wonder what he has, like, looking at his body, his, like, body shape and seeing if there's anything I can spot.
Which order
Sure,
would you like us to go in?
I'm not gonna have him make a check because he can just see. This guy's not really hiding anything. The guy bears a few knives, definitely a bunch of arrows, some sling, snare trap sort of hangs from his leg. Like he's got all of his stuff that he needs, and he's not very afraid about showing it off. And the bow over himself, of course.
Makes sense. All right.
I, being a ranger of the forest, would know. Does he need a permit or anything to be hunting in these woods?
Oh, that's a good point.
Hold it right there, buddy.
Hold her on
You
there,
got
partner.
You got a license for those
Yeah.
rabbits?
Fish and
permit on
game!
I don't recall it being deer season right now.
Fish and game, get on the ground, or you're the one who's going to be hunted.
Well, as far as you know, Alice, southerly and westerly is sort of the mountains forest. This guy seems to be hunting out in this valley, so probably fair game, you can assume?
I'm still gonna give him a look up and down, kind of look at his weapons, what he's got on here, and maybe try and determine.
I thought you were gonna say citation. I'm still gonna give him a citation.
Like the way you're wearing that jacket, that's gonna be a citation from me.
Oh my god.
Oh, thanks.
I just want to see how good of a hunter he is. Like, do I think he does this for a living, or is
Well,
this
he most
more of
certainly does
a?
this for a living.
Okay.
Hunter to hunter, you know that this guy doesn't just do this for a living. This isn't his entire life. Like he doesn't even like sell most of the stuff that he has. He just like eats it. He lives off the land. But the thing is, you can tell by looking at this fellow, he hasn't always done that. Because wild men sort of have a look to them. This fellow does not have that look. He looks like somebody that used to be something completely different, and drastic changes in be it social climate or literal climate have caused him to uproot. He's not a wild man like your mentor was. He doesn't have the beard or the wild eyes and the bushy hair. He just looks like somebody that is just trying to get by.
A little too clean cut.
Fugitive.
Well, that's all I really wanted to know.
Excellent. Derek, you wanted to make a psychology check?
Yes, please. 50 right on the dot. Let's fucking go, boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
This fellow, you at first you think that this might be one of those people that's into quid pro quos. You know, you get something, they get something in exchange, blah blah blah. But you sort of figure that this fellow is a lot more simple than that. Simple not in the way that he lacks intelligence, but simple in the way that he has nothing to hide or nothing to sort of, attempt to pull one over on you. He just looks like a very simple traveler. That said, he looks, him asking for protection on the road is not without warrant. So you know that he looks capable, but you figure that the highwaymen probably have firearms, and a rudimentary bow is only going to do so much. So him asking for protection in exchange for, giving you food and being the helping to secure food might not be a bad deal, especially if he knows the land.
I turn.
But is he going?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, but is he going the same way as us?
That's a good question. He was heading towards you.
I turn to Octavia and I sign to her, like, what death awaits, basically asking, like, what can we anticipate to find along the road. Ask this guy that.
She raises her chin. So, what is on this road that you are so afraid of? And the fellow sort of turns his head and looks at the masked woman with hooded and tired-looking eyes. As I've said, highwaymen, wild animals. The animals is what you have to worry for. It is breeding season, after all. They're a bit wild, ready to attack. The further south you head, the more you have to worry about the highwaymen. And I'm getting a bit too old to handle all this by myself. Make that a little bit bigger.
I can vouch for that. Coming north wasn't easy.
What say you? I know these lands decently well. I've been here for a few years now. In exchange for your protection, I shall offer guidance and perhaps the occasional spot of food.
Well, friend, we're on our way to Watershed.
Dangerous place.
So we've been
road-
told.
But the road from the mountain is clear.
That it is. For now. I take it you're heading to Morton.
Character question. We are heading to Morton, correct?
You don't know the name. You were never told a name.
Oh.
Right. Okay. That's why I was like, huh, I'm surprised I don't remember this.
No,
No.
Just like, you remember that from a month ago? Yeah. The look of confusion on your face sort of registers with this fellow. So you have no idea even where you're headed.
No. Man who sent us on our way was vague about our objective.
Then you probably need me.
And be averse to a guide.
I was going to say, I personally think it's a good idea to have someone around who knows the lay of the land.
Agreed.
He'd nod. It's settled then. I'll come with you.
The stoneworker turns to look at Nihilus through the mask and just sort of holds a hand out like, yes, no, you have an opinion.
I look away, indicating that I have no opinion whatsoever.
A nod of like, message received. I think we're good. Yes.
More meat for the road to chew up, as far as Nihilus is concerned.
Another flesh bag to throw in front of the Marauder.
Yeah.
Body bag, body bag, body bag.
I am Mullins.
Mullins.
Artwork.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
very nice.
Love it.
He has like a mullet.
His hair is just sort of wild and slicked.
Oh, okay.
Probably with animal fat, you figure.
Yes, the Dwarven Slayer method. Efficient.
Yeah, this guy smells real great.
Oh yeah, he smells wonderful. Well, he
Yeah,
does
what
have the. He does sort of have like a underneath all the horrible scents in his jacket. He smells passable. Smells like dew, mostly to say.
Like doo-doo?
No.
Like morning dew.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It smells like dew.
They all have
Smells like
dirty
poopy.
minds.
It smells like poopy.
You.
Underneath it all, he doesn't smell that bad. It's just like poop. That's it.
Just poop. Okay.
Well, you know, shit.
That's way worse, yeah.
But he gestures and points. We'll be on our way then. And he'd take lead.
I'm gonna stand upwind from him.
He did introduce himself, but he did not ask for any of your names.
Yeah. I have noticed that.
I stay in the back to watch everything. Like a good distance back. I sign to Octavia. Listen for me, basically. Like I'm gonna stay back in case anything goes fucky with the party, so I can maybe do my thing and actually be useful, because I'm not too sure that open combat is what I'm built for.
She signals as you wish. And
With the anti-stoneworker.
her and what's his name? The little guy, the little hunched over old man.
Onesimus. Onesimus. Wait, the
Onesimus
old
is
guy or the
old
child that we brought on? Decimus is the old guy. Or no, yes, Decimus. Yep.
Let me look at the names. It is Decimus, yes. Okay. So he's sort of hunched over, like watching this fellow, and he like creeps over to you and he signs to you, like, do you trust him?
About as far as I can throw him.
Understood. Sort of. Yep. Got it. So, unimpaired, you guys sort of just make your way down the road until you reach a crossroads, and here's where you spot a little house off in the distance, sitting atop a hill, and it's sort of on stilts. And you quickly figure, oh, this must be some sort of fisherman's cabin. So maybe it's a place that you can stop. It's a little bit past noon. Mullins is sort of just heading what would be you guys' player right, which would be south. And he looks back to the lot of you. And he gestures like, what do you want to do?
Well, we don't really need directions or anything. Not sure if we need to stop.
We could keep pressing on, or we could take a look. And honestly, I wouldn't mind pausing for a moment.
To the west is your in-character west.
Yeah.
Down this road is the old, what did they call it? A place of astrology. I don't remember the name for it. An observatory. It's abandoned. So they say.
Planetarium? Is that the word?
He just shrugged. If any of you know sciences, you can definitely make a roll.
More of a nature girl than science girl.
Fair enough.
Wait, I can roll on that?
What kind of sciences do you have?
Oh, I just have engineering and physics.
Engineering and physics. That is weird. Well, I'll let you make a physics check. It's going to be a hard success. You need to get a hard success for it to be for you to understand it or know what that is exactly.
It's fucking Jihan, dude. Why did you even like specify? Just like
So
An extreme success.
what a fucking 9.
I'll just actually our service counterparts to Tethered. They are able to read weather patterns that other people cannot see. They're also able to read sort of unnatural phenomenon that might happen in the atmosphere. They, at one point, were employed very, very widely for use of farmers to sort of like plan the growing and harvesting seasons. But now they sort of really aren't needed anymore. They sort of fallen into antiquity. They're a relic of the past that isn't needed because the farmers have figured out patterns by themselves. And they've started writing their own almanacs. And people that write the almanacs have sort of been the ones that make all the money. So, astrologists, useless.
Interesting. Field trip?
Why not? It might prove interesting. And even though we know where we're going, having a place to rest for a while wouldn't be bad.
Sure.
It means if we're being tailed or someone spots us traveling for too long, they might fall on us. Pausing isn't a bad idea.
Hold on just a sec. Feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves.
Alright, of course.
Mm.
I love fish.
You got a hunting license, a fishing license. You got a license to be hunting these fish.
If you're using a
So-
firearm to kill fish, do you need a hunting license or a fishing license?
Do you need all of them?
I'm gonna double charge you. You need both. You need a special permit for that, actually.
So, hold on a minute. Out of character. Actually, no, in character. So, you require permits to hunt around the mountain?
My side of the forest, yeah.
Huh.
Gotta make sure that no certain animals are hunted to extinction or anything like that.
Must be a nice concern to have.
It was. And now I'm dealing with this.
Yeah, I get that. Where I come from, we couldn't hunt enough. You still can't. We'd be begging for someone to come and hunt the things by us to extinction.
You ever think about tourism?
The Glazier's claim isn't exactly welcoming to people. And the things that live there hunt humans for sport.
Oh, fun.
There's a reason my city is called Glass Wall. The wall's the emphasis part.
Well, no offense, but I don't think I'll be visiting anytime soon then.
If you do, I would be very impressed. But it is nice. Once you get used to the high wind.
So, you thinking about checking out this Star Tower?
If only as a place of shelter, I think it would be a good idea. You prove it.
Well,
Wait.
I suppose I'm game if y'all are.
I'm kind of hungry. Oh, Nikolai says he's hungry.
Oh. Didn't you just buy some food?
He wouldn't sell it to me.
Oh, that's right, you didn't have anything to trade.
My
Well,
possessions, they're all at the shop.
well, if you want, we could rest here a moment before we move on and have a lunch or something. What time of day is it right now, Red?
He said it's about
able-
noon. I think
About
it's a
noon?
little bit after noon.
That's fair. Yeah.
So it's
Um,
lunchtime.
I suppose. Yeah. If we need to do lunchtime, sure.
Is that a skill? Cooking?
That's a great question.
Don't worry, I have my trusty torch.
I'm grateful to say I have jerky. I definitely bought jerky before I left.
Then I think I'll
Engineering and
eat some of
physics.
that.
Engineering and physics
Oh, yeah,
would
I get-
definitely work. It's
Yeah.
cooking.
It's just chemistry.
Yeah, Nikolai will whip up some fried rice with his engineering skills.
Oh yeah.
Do we have rice?
Wild grain.
Mhm.
Some
I could
quinoa.
Mm.
I could go do a little foraging. I think I might know what to look out for.
I think at this
Is that
point
a
I'd probably
skill?
like show up at the crossroads with like a couple of like plump pheasant looking birds, like with their heads exploded, so it's just like I'm carrying them by their necks. Because I used my psychic ability to rack them, which on a person it makes them go temporarily insane. I imagine on a pea-brained dinosaur, it would probably just explode their head.
Sure.
And I drop them in front of me for you to prepare.
All right. Wish me luck. This is
Oh,
not the cleanest environment.
you cooked before, I hope?
Of course, try some kielbasa.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I feel like
often.
I heard something bad about kielbasa recently.
All right, let me roll for cooking.
Oh,
Oh
no.
crap!
The first fail I've seen, and it is on a thing that doesn't matter
I
that much.
asked if you knew how to cook.
I told you it's not the cleanest environment.
I don't want to get dysentery or something.
All right, I'm
Because of
gonna push
salmonella.
myself. Hey,
You
how do I
can't
push
fix
myself
that. You
again?
can't fix that with a 10. Oh, what is it? Pushing yourself reroll or is pushing yourself adding a 10? I don't remember. Omni, do you remember?
Right.
Pushing
I-
yourself as a D10.
That's a D10, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't reroll?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
The best you'd be able to do is get an 87, which is still pretty far above what you're looking at.
I
All right, I'm using my inspiration.
Well, you can. Yeah, I guess you can roll 2d10 in that regard.
Oh, I still wouldn't pass.
You're thinking about it.
You burned the pheasant.
Burnt it and then dropped it on the floor.
The fatty bird. You just weren't used to cooking something with that much fat on it.
You brought two. Let me try again.
Maybe someone else should do that.
Tom
I don't
Worker
know.
is watching this all with no small amount of like just shit-eating grin on his face as he's chewing on jerky, watching all this from like a tree stump. I'd figure.
Oh yeah. I think that even though you burned the shit out of the pheasant, I'm insistent that the child eats to keep his strength up. Otherwise, he's not gonna live.
The pheasant might kill him.
It's burned. Burned food can't kill you. It's just gonna upset you.
Chemically burned food might. He's been using a blowtorch.
Yeah,
It's gonna be burnt on the outside and then raw on the inside.
Can I do electrical repair on the bird?
Gonna realign its circuits.
Absolutely not. You burned it. That's there's no coming back from that.
You can't fix that.
Okay.
I think you
Alright.
guys were just, burning a bird. Sorry about that. That was really bizarre. My audio just completely cut out and I could not get it to fucking work, so I had to completely restart the computer. So
That shit
Damn.
happens.
that was so
Yeah.
weird. I'll have to check my audio drivers after the stream. Maybe they're out of date. I don't know. But Mullins is just sort of watching this.
See. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like this, just the whole time the stoneworker's just chewing on jerky, watching this. Maybe like playing with stones, as he does, like basically playing marbles with rocks on the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some of that beef jerky if I can.
As you approach, stoneworker watches you come closer and just. The old man messed up the birds, huh?
As I feared.
I have never seen someone try to use chemical flame to cook like that.
Was it an interesting experience?
I prefer wood fire myself. It tends to cook a little more evenly than that.
You, as you lot are having your conversations, you'd see a squat old man sort of making his way down the hill from the what appears to be that cottage. And when I say squat, this fellow is quite small. He's a bit hunched. He's holding a gun. He's holding some sort of shotgun in his hand, and he's sort of just walking down, not aggressive, but sort of just like, I have this gun for protection, that sort of way. And he's gonna look at the lot of you. He's
Well,
not even
howdy.
gonna say anything. He's just gonna look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Can we help you, old man?
I am wondering what you are doing on my road.
Oh, is this your property?
It is.
I point to our new companion. We were told we could travel through here.
You can. You're just idling outside of my cabin.
Sorry.
The time.
We were just trying to have a bite to eat, before we continue on our way.
You sort of nod a little and put a hand on. He's wearing waders and with like suspenders over his shoulders, and it's sort of like he's just sort of hunched over, and then the suspenders are sort of like not even flush with his body. They're just sort of like going down. They're not. It doesn't look very effective.
Full grandpa regalia. I love it.
Well, if you want food, I can give you some. If you are not bandits, that is. He'd wave his gun around like he was gonna shoot you.
We're definitely not bandits. And some food would be greatly appreciated.
What about him? He looked like bandit. He pointed at Nihilus.
Oh, yeah. He's rehabilitated, but still, he hasn't gotten a new wardrobe.
Rehabilitated.
Yeah, no, he's found religion. He's a good guy now.
Ah, very good, son.
Yes. Don't say anything, not that you have this entire time, I whispered him.
The stone to Nihilus.
Yeah.
Derek's just the sinister look. Well, come on inside. I will give you drink and food for the rope. Come on. He sort of just start hobbling his way up the hill.
Mikolai gets up with a solemn expression, you know. I'll do better next time.
It's all right, old man. Everyone burns food.
Well, guess I'm gonna follow the old guy in.
Follow the old man. Mullins would just shrug and follow along as well.
I'll follow, but once we get inside, the stoneworker's probably going to stay by the door, at least close enough where he'll be able to see if anyone's coming. Something about this place just feels weird.
Octavia looks over at Nihilus and sort of gestures a bad word, like pathetic.
I don't say anything back.
Okay.
I'm just giving daggers into the back of Ellis's skull.
I got us in here, didn't I?
He burned my bird.
Welcome in. Forgive the mess. He gestured around, and it was really clean, and there wasn't much of anything anywhere. It was a humble little cabin. It was obviously meant for like maybe one, maybe two people. There is a bed in the far corner. There's a little dinette set with like a sink with a water pump leading straight to it. There's a couple of oil lanterns hanging from the ceiling that are unlit, and then the place is just the rickety floorboards are sort of lit by the ambience of the afternoon light. So, very comfortable place. There's a round table with a few rickety-looking chairs that are mismatched. Obviously, not at the same set. Maybe they attempted to make chairs. But he sits down on one, and you immediately realize that the legs aren't even, and they sort of like. He just like rocks back and forth on him, and you hear like a gentle like tup 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 as he's like rocking it.
Reminds me of home.
Yep. Very nostalgic for you.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna stay here, guys. You go on ahead.
Well,
I'm sure the mountain wouldn't mind.
he'd take the gun and set it on the table. What brings you down this road? There are not many travelers here anymore, especially not anybody that come to see old Boswell.
We're on a road trip, you know. We get a job, you know. We finish job, we go back home. La la la.
Ah, yes, the days of my youth. I used to. I went from doing like a Russian accent to like a.
Reminds me of Einstein.
From doing a Russian accent to like a Jewish one. I don't know why. I'm gonna stick with the Jewish one. I like it. Back in my day, we used to travel the roads non-stop. We used to hunt the biggest animal and eat it. Very good times. Where did you say you were from again? He just gestured this wrinkled hand like, we're...
From
Character, I don't remember.
You're from
the mountain.
The territory of the mountain.
From the other mountain?
The leftmost mountain, as they call it colloquially.
I think you could still see it from here.
Yeah, you actually can. Oh, you're from those over there. You point out the window. Ah,
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
Oh.
What did I invite you inside for again?
Free meal, I believe you said.
Ah, yes. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Very well. He'd stand himself up. He'd open up the cupboard, and you'd see that he had like jars upon jars of like preserves and like fruit and vegetable mixes and pickled stuff and all sorts of things. Do you like sauerkraut? Very good for you. Sailors used to eat it back in my day.
Whatever you have to spare, I guess.
Yeah, Mikolai drools because he didn't get to eat yet. No.
I will bring sauerkraut to heat for you. Make you sauerkraut soup. Very good.
Yummy.
The stoneworker leans over to Ellis and is like, what in the southern plains is sauerkraut?
Well, as the name would imply, it's rather sour. It's a fermented cabbage? Pickled cabbage.
Yep, pickled cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get out
It's not gonna be good, but it's good for you. Sorry.
He's gonna grab a saucepan. No, you're good. He's gonna grab a saucepan from like he's gonna like reach up and grab it down off his rack, and he's gonna put it down and like dump this entire jar. He's gonna like try to open the jar. Yeah, one of you stronger people, open this for me. It has the vacuum seal, as they say.
And the stoneworker steps forward. 6'4" guy takes the jar, like 6'4", 6'5", ripped out beyond reason. Fine. Strength check, cool.
Yeah.
If I don't make this 70, I'm gonna laugh.
It's hilarious. Oh shit!
Oh, no.
Crit.
Success.
She just
Just-
shatters the fucking.
Just like
it's
punk.
open forever.
There's a tense moment and the camera zooms in on your face, and then you
Just there.
hear,
And immediately recoils from the smell and just hands it over like, oh, that's good. That's
Thank you, son. Yes, we used to use the leftover pickling material to polish shoe. He dumped all of it.
Brr.
I'd believe it. I'd believe it. Wow, yeah, that's gonna be great. And he just goes to stand by the door like, oh my god, I can't wait to get out of here. Sure to come in.
So where did you say you were from again?
The mountain.
Oh, yes, that's right. What about you, big man? He point to Stoneworker.
The south. The Glaziers claim Glaswall, if you've ever heard of it.
Ah, yes, glass wall. Back in my day, it was not even a wall, it was just a window. That's a joke, Sean. You're supposed to laugh.
That actually would probably get a laugh out of him. Like a good, like, kind of. That's, I like that one. That one's good.
So you are heading, where'd you say you were heading? South?
Yeah, we're heading towards Watershed. That's what I believe it's called.
Dangerous place.
That's the point.
Mullins would look at the rest of you like I said so. Now, why would you go to a place like this, huh? It's not a good place. Stay in the mountain, a lot safer, yeah?
Got some business there, unfortunately.
Well, you see, business. There was a lot of business there when I was about your age, girlie. When the, what's his name? From the mountain, when he was a young man.
Oh yeah, totally. Mhm.
He was, he was still mobile back then. He was able to move around. That is why people were afraid of him. The moving mountain, they called him. Oh,
Wait,
terrifying.
Wait,
you mobile?
Mm.
You mean he can't anymore?
Have you seen him? He stuck to chair like glue.
I hadn't thought of that.
He is, I think he's a bit dangerous in that regard. A leader should be able to walk around the realm, yeah? But everybody's afraid of him from the 100 years where he could walk around. I am 86 and I can still walk, pathetic man in the mountain.
The Stoneworker slowly looks at Ellis and Mikolai and... Did you two know this?
I didn't really know much about anything before this.
Hey, Mikolai gets angry at the comment. I said, the mountain is a great man, you know.
Yeah, well, is he even man? He's been alive for 2 centuries. How can you call that man? I am 86. And they look like he's 200 and he looks like he's... I don't know. He looks like withered potato on half side.
Yeah. Well, this is all very interesting information.
Do you want mustard? But the other sauerkraut, very good.
Oh.
Might give you the spit up though. Must
I couldn't possibly, but thank you.
of course.
The Stoneworker actually goes to, like, he's mystified by this conversation. This is the first time he's really heard anyone in this region say anything but amazingly good stuff about the mountain. And this is the first person who's spoken to who said something that just like immediately went, "Oh, no, that makes sense. I'm so glad someone's saying something that makes sense about this." And he pulls up a chair at the table and sits down. You know what? Yeah, sure. Mustard, only a little though. I like that. Yes. Please continue.
I grow mustard outside. Very good. Very fresh mustard, fresh ground, mortar and pestle and all that. Yeah. He's gonna look over at Nyla standing in the corner.
I'm looking out the window at the mountain. Like, since he started talking about the mountain as the person, I started like looking at the mountain, and the sound of like fur leather glove tightening has just cinched up tighter ever since he started talking about it. Like, yeah, he can't get up and move around. No, I'm like, I was right there. I was right fucking there. I could have fucking just, I could have done it right then. I was right there. And he couldn't have come after me. Like, fuck.
We got arrested and brought before the one guy in the whole mission that couldn't have left the room.
The fisherman Boswell grabs his cane and like bonks you on the shoulder with it very gently because he's not a very strong man. Hey, Sonny, it's rude to wear a hat inside. He says he's wearing a wool cap.
I look over to him and look past him to Octavia and sign protein. Like, I need some fish or something.
Our master requires sustenance, preferably in the form of a meat. You youngins these days and your meat. Fine.
Back in my day, we didn't have meat.
We ripped our protein straight from the tree, like mother intended.
Back in my day, we used to graze the fields for grass and bog. No. Fine, I will fetch fish. Keep an eye on the pots. Do not let it boil.
You got a permit for that?
For that fish.
You got a license to be fishing in that pond?
God, every time you do that, every time you think of or you talk like that, my mind immediately feels like I'm rolling down my window on I-4 because I was going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit.
You know why I pulled you over today, son?
Oh God, it's giving nightmares.
My wife is not a cop.
You know how fast you were going there?
I am not married to a cop, I promise.
No, gosh, no.
No bacon in this house.
The old, the old man uses the cane and he sort of like walks out the back door, and you hear it sort of creak shut as you're left alone with a room smelling like sauerkraut.
So, and he just like turns the chair a little bit on the spot to like face Ellis, Mikolai, even Nihilus a little bit. So I just want to make sure I got that all right. You didn't know this. That's fine. I understand that. If the mountain can't leave his sanctum, how is he protecting your entire region?
He's all powerful.
If he was all powerful, then I imagine he'd be able to leave his room. How?
I'm doing a history check. Where's history check?
I think that is his. I think
it's actually just history, yeah.
Yeah, at least in Call of Cthulhu.
All right. Who wants to do a history check?
I think I failed history back when I was in school because I have a 5.
I'm not even from this part of the world, but I'll take a shot at it.
I'm curious.
Yeah, no, that was unlikely. So, yeah, too bad I literally know nothing of your history here.
I mean, I guess just on the off chance. No, I didn't think so.
We're all 5 in history.
Jihan, roll one.
Yeah. We're all. Oh crap! We're all 5.
You're letting me down. Well, a lot of you cobble together bits and pieces of information. Stoneworker, you realize that this guy used to be a marauding leader. He used to wander around and keep the peace. When did he lose that reputation? said spaghetti. Alice, you never really thought about it. To be quite frank, it's not something that's really passed your mind. I mean, it's not something that affects you directly, at least.
I just grew up here. They said the mountain protected us. I didn't have a reason to think otherwise.
I'm just
Yeah, you
an
shall
honest,
find safety.
hard-working nature girl.
I just go hunting and shit. I don't know nothing about no politics.
I gotta just say very quickly here, Derek, I love you. It sounded like it was Mickey Mouse for a second there. Like Mickey with a southern drawl, and I love that.
Hard-working nature girl. Oh,
You best head back the way you came.
I don't know how the fuck you got here, but best get back the way you came.
Oh god, yeah. Which way is town? The way back you came.
Nikolai, this is all bullshit. That old man's like speaking propaganda. That you're sure of it. This guy lives so far away from the mountain because something bad happened to him at some point. The mountain can get up and walk around. You don't need physical evidence, or you don't need to see it with your own eyes to figure that out. Nihilus.
Same role as
Everybody
me.
left out. Oh, hey, let's go, real buddies.
You're despite all your rage, you
Still
managed
in
to
the skull cage.
you sort of you think long and hard about this and realize that you don't really know much about the guy at all. So little facts like that evaded you. And it's not really surprising that they evaded you. Octavia pats you on the shoulder. Hey then, we'll figure this out. One bit at a time, I think. Granted, this old man isn't fibbing.
Is or isn't?
Isn't
I don't think he was. Back at the
Make yourself
tower,
shit.
the stoneworker pauses for a second, and he sort of like puts his hand out and pulls some. I imagine it's like dirt or like grime on the floor a little bit, like not a lot, but like this is a frontier house. There's got to be like mud or dirt somewhere around the door.
Something that you guys might attract even.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. That's perfect. He's literally gonna hold his hand out and sort of like pull the dirt off the ground and push it onto the table. Sort of draw with it very simply, almost like pouring sand. That's probably what he do. Just like gather it into his hand and then use sand to like pour onto the table a shape. And he sort of like does a very, very primitive like chair and like a stick person standing in front of it. And then he takes the sand and makes like a string of it from the left-hand side around to the back of the chair. When I was standing, besides the fact that was... I'll give you this much, Nikolai. He is probably one of the most powerful tethered I've ever seen. But one of the things I noticed was he had pipes or tubes coming out of his left arm, going behind the chair. I didn't know what was going on with that. But that makes sense. That might be something he depends on to survive. Unless that's on a cart or something, and even then, I didn't see anyone attending to him.
Nikolai is going to look at the stoneworker, and he's going to disapprove of his logic. He's like, why would you need that? This is crazy.
I've only been on the mountain I was on the mountain for all of a day and a half before I got sent off. I can't imagine, and he sort of gestures over to Nihilus, that Tathastrian was on there much longer.
I'm looking down at the thing on the table.
It's super crude. Like, this is... Honestly, he probably did it almost like in that same runic alphabet style that Glaswall has. Like, it's clearly pictographic. It does its job of conveying what's being shown, but it's not like in any detail.
It's the essence represented, not the
Exactly. Exactly. It's between that and a cuneiform structure, that's the basis of their language. And so he kind of just... Besides that, like... Your people on the mountain have utterly relied on the mountain for security. I cannot emphasize to you enough how strange it was to come into your region and see no walls. I've never seen a settlement that didn't have some wall. And it's not that you don't need them. How far did we go, Ellis, before we were knee-deep in whatever those things were out in the woods?
Very far.
How far do you think it would take for them to get back to the city?
And as everybody's ruminating on your suggestive thinking, the pot begins to boil over.
Shit.
What did I say? Well, I asked you one thing. I asked you keep eye on the fucking pot.
He's wandering back inside the basket of fish.
Just gonna
Can't
grab
even do
that.
this. Young people, I swear.
Just gonna grab that and move it off the fire.
Nah, you're cleaning that up.
Just-
Sorry, old man.
Yeah.
See him grab a fish with shaky hands and like grab a knife, and like this, he fillets it. Just in like a few strokes of a knife with these shaky old hands, he fillets a fish and lays it in a pan.
Nice.
You have a child with you, I notice. Hello, little man.
He'd wave it Onesimus, I believe.
Onesimus.
Onesimus. Okay, got it. He's sort of quiet and withdrawn, and he doesn't really want to talk to the old man because he's weird.
He's already got an old man to mentor after.
Quiet, just like you, weird fellow.
Point to Nihilus.
I, as the child is sitting down to eat, I am Pavlovianly training him, and I take my little black pocket book out and put it in front of him so he starts reading the catechisms while he eats.
Ah, yes, indoctrination. No, I'm kidding.
I told you he found religion.
He found faith in the strangest of places. Yeah, anyway, food for you.
He'd sit down bowls of sauerkraut soup in front of each of you.
Now you
Nikolai.
want a favor.
Oh,
Bamboozle.
no. Damn it.
This is how this works. A little tit for tat, yes. My friend, he lives in the.
He's having an old man moment, just sort of like stammering over himself.
The.
Your friend lives?
Yes, he lives. He lives in the. Astrarium. I believe that's what it's called.
Oh, we heard about that. Speaking
Yes.
of which, where's our guide?
He's hanging out in the room, sort of leaning against the wall. just like
Okay.
inspecting.
He hasn't bailed on us.
No, not yet.
He's a astrolician, I believe. Very
Oh.
smart. Predicts rain.
Oh,
Could you go check up on him for me? I am worried about him. He is a good friend. He has not been by in weeks, and I promised him a fish dinner.
how far away? Right.
Oh no, go ahead.
The stoneworker would turn to Mullins. How far away is that from here?
It'd be down the road to our west. I'd imagine it'd be 3 hours, 4, depending on the severity of the conditions of the road. I know not. I haven't been down that way in a very long time. That
Do
should
it.
be fine.
Do it for some of those canned goods.
Oh yes, these old things, yes, they last forever. I cannot eat all of these, and I'll be quite honest, pickles are getting a little bit old, making me spit up.
Hmm.
You know.
Getting acid reflux.
Fun.
Poor guy.
Well,
Can't
I
relate.
don't want to get scurvy on this trip, so thank you kindly.
Yes, let me get you a jar for the road. He'd get a burlap sack and he'd start filling these, or putting hand after hand of these jars, and they seemed like endless.
Oh, okay. That's plenty. That's plenty.
Here you go. He'd hand it over to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy, little lady. So he walked back over to the stove.
Ah, did he only give me the pickled cabbage?
He gave you all pickles.
Oops, all pickles.
Oops, all pickles. That's the name of this episode.
Oops, all pickles.
Yeah.
Here, little man. You'll need fish. You need the protein to stay strong. He set a plate of fish in front of the boy. And I suppose you look a bit sickly. He'd set down a plate of fish in front of Nihilus. You'll need to eat, get your strength back. He'd pat you on the shoulder.
I look to his hand. I look to the food. And I consider that that's probably the only reason why he gets to keep the hand. Because it's a post-apocalyptic world, and food is hard to come by. So I just deadpan him.
Do not give me a look, son. I bore 6 boys, and they were all rambunctious, just like you.
Yes, he's very.
I look to Octavia to like give her a look that's like, yes, just like me.
That's old nihilist.
Known someone like me, yes. Totally.
Just an angsty teen under that skull.
With cosmic might overflowing. You know, your average Protoss teenager, basically.
Alright, eat your food and go check on my friend, please.
Sure.
Seems like a fair trade.
Yes, it does. This also seems like a good place to take a break. Derek, would you take it away?
Yeah, no problem. Don't go anywhere, anybody. We are going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break, and then we will be right back with more AEUS the Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, it's not that bad, man. You're good.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for sitting tight with us during that interim brief time. It is now time for more AEUS, the mountain. Red?
Hello, welcome back. I am Red, one of the primary colors. We are. We just got done talking with the old man, and you find out a bunch of information that's a little bit juicy. So, yeah,
Just a little bit.
curious to see what you'll do with that.
Cassie, thank you so much for the gift sub. Much
What's up,
appreciated.
Cassie?
Nice.
Oh, yo, Kendo's here too. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freaking
Genko, we
party
got
now.
ourselves. All we need is drabs, and we'll be rolling like great.
Hell yeah.
Let me open up my Keeper rulebook, 7th edition.
Ooh.
No, you guys can keep RPing. It's just making sure everybody's getting fed. You guys are breaking bread together, as it were, without bread.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You don't have any bread, do you, old man?
What do you think I am, made of money?
Oh, it can't hurt to ask.
Well, I have no bread, so...
Bless. No, we'll
Yeah.
continue consuming the watery fermented cabbage soup.
Do you? I know that he set out with hardtack, and he probably took a lot. Do you think he'd still have any left?
Yeah, absolutely. It's only been about 6 hours.
Okay, that's fair. So that's the case. The Stonekeeper would put like a square of hardtack on the table and push it towards Ellis, and it's disgusting because it's hardtack. Imagine a cracker. No,
Can't be
make it
worse
harder.
than the soup.
It's hardtack, so it is historically horrible, but at the same time, it works well with soup, I'd imagine. So
They call them.
Well-
What do they call them? There's a term, but they call them. They're gross. I think they're called maggot castles.
yeah, maggot castles, tooth breakers was another one I heard.
That was a colloquial term.
Ellis very cautiously dips the biscuit a few times, takes a bite, and realizes like none of the liquid has absorbed at all. Like, oh, okay.
The Stonekeeper's just gonna drop a hardtack into the soup and just leave it to soak for a while.
I think I'll do the same.
I actually look to you for a moment, Stoneworker, and like look to the hardtack, and then like look back at you, indicating like that I have some of that. I need carbohydrates. Obviously, I don't say any of that, but
Right, but I get the idea. Like it's that kind
Like
of
when
look.
someone's
Yeah.
getting gum out or something, you kind of look at
Right,
them.
exactly.
Somebody took out a piece of gum. Yeah.
The Stoneworker reaches into a pouch again, pulls another piece of hardtack, and hands it over towards you for you to take.
I signed thank you, which
I don't
think
speak
that-
sign language, but he gets it. Yeah.
No, you're
Yeah.
right.
Mikolai will tell him, "This is how you do it." He like slurps. You have to slurp the, you know.
Okay.
Nikolai's one of those people that just like chugs the sauerkraut water.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. Hey, fuck off.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Hey,
That's
I gotta
fair.
eat all of it, man. Are you, what? Are you one of those people that eats all the chunks out of the soup and then dumps the broth?
You know, that's a fair point. No, of course not. I'm not a
That's
heretic.
What I thought. That's what I thought.
Um,
Yeah, people eat the pizza without the crust. Yeah, you fucking.
I mean, you got a good dipping sauce, and that's just breadsticks.
Oh yes,
basically.
ranch, delicious ranch.
Oh no.
Garlic butter. Jesus, come on. Like,
No.
quality.
No,
Not the
ranch.
Ranch. I'm with Red on this one.
Oh no.
It's a
Better
white
than
sauce
mayo.
personal thing for me. I'm not a fan of mayo. I'm not a fan of ranch base. That's all it is.
Oh, you don't like
Fair.
white sauce, huh?
Yeah.
You know it.
Me.
Mm-mm.
I'm on Omni's side with this one.
Me and Shion.
Y'all are cowards and cats.
Growing up in
You
the
know-
South, ranch is a staple food here.
We eat ranch for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's
Cereal,
nice.
no milk, just ranch.
Yes.
Are we all from
No
the South?
mouthwash, just rands.
We're all from the South.
I'm
Well-
from the Midwest. Speak for yourself.
Technically, but I mean, St. Louis, I think, is kind of southern, right?
No.
No?
That's like
Am I just
middle.
ignorant of like where the map is geographically speaking?
St. Louis is like middle of the Midwest.
Wow, I'm just dumb. I always thought
No,
St. Louis
no,
was, like,
it's
on the Mississippi River.
no, it's because the U.S. like our
Well, it
cardinal
is.
directions in the country are so insanely borked, and they make no sense. Like the East is literally just like the most eastern states, and then everything past that starts getting ridiculous.
I'm honestly really good on the western seaboard, like over to Texas, and then like everything east of that, I'm like, well, I know Louisiana's right next to us, and Florida's on the end, but
Just
I could
everything
not
gets
fucking
smaller
put
on that
anything
side.
over there. Yeah. Sorry,
It's
we're,
all
we're
these
digressing.
tiny states.
No, St. Louis is on the Mississippi, but it's like, it's not quite center of the Midwest, but it's really close.
I forget how big the Mississippi is, I guess is the problem.
It's huge. It runs from Minnesota down.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, not Minnesota. Well, yeah, Minnesota. My bad.
Yeah,
That'd be
pretty much
right.
bisects the country.
Yep.
Yeah, there we
Well,
go.
St. Louis
Pip's
gateway
got
to the
this.
west.
Mm-hmm.
Pip's got this.
So,
Yes, the East,
could
West,
you
and then the middle.
say, could you say we have a bisexual country?
Economy.
Alright guys, that's it, I'm out. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
The rocks drop. Oh,
Digressing, as Derek said. As you lot are eating your food, you are told that you have to go find this old man's friend. So go find his friend.
Don't work
That's okay.
What's that?
Accept quest.
Plastic sauce.
Given all
Where's
the
the quest
pickles
marker?
I was just given, I think I'm contractually obligated to do this now.
GM, where's the quest marker telling me to go?
Okay, I'll put it on the map real quick for you.
Organizing a raid in WoW, like.
Let's see. Here's a quest marker.
Oh, I was being sarcastic. Okay.
Here
Oh,
you
okay,
go.
nice. That's a good quest marker.
Perfect. Love it. Oh, it's great.
Oh man, the stream's gonna love that one. GM, where's the giant god ray of light? Show me where my quest is.
All right.
Just head down the road. At least that's as much as you know. And Mullins looks over at you. So are we going to go find this fellow? Because that is a 3 to 4 hour detour.
All right. Let's do it. Kurt stands up and pushes the bowl away and nods to the old man. Thank you for the soup and the conversation.
Yeah, sure, bro. Make sure my friend is okay, and then you can say thank you again.
All right.
All right, I will be saying thank you this time. Yes. Now, sure. I have to clean up the dirt you put all over my fucking table.
At that, he's just going to hold his hand out and just sort of pull it all into his hand. Like, literally just sort of scoop it up almost. And just sort of slides into his hand. He just crushes it until it's like gravel.
Young people with their weird hand magics.
And he's going to walk outside.
Alright, so you lot are outside and back on the big red circle. You were here and now you're here. Oh, well, no, you're not strong.
Didn't like how we changed shape there.
Long.
We were scattered
He
over
was
it.
big. He was long. He was tall.
Oh, that's great.
The road awaits. You can choose to help the old man or just continue on and never see him again.
I can't.
I guess I already have the pickles.
You do have the pickles. You have
don't-
been paid in advance.
We should
I don't need
do
more
it.
pickles.
We gave our word.
Yeah, we should do it.
For the pickles.
For the pickles. Yeah.
That's our new motto.
Hey, I mean, again, this is a post-apocalyptic setting. He gave us food. That's like that's effectively giving us gold in D&D terms. You know what I mean? Like.
I mean, yeah, no, that's
giving you life.
yeah. Like you could trade this anywhere, or eat it. So yeah, no, that's good. I'm good with that.
Absolutely, yeah. It's, you would not Don't forsake this man. He's done good by you.
There is no international currency. Food is about as close though as you're gonna get.
True. Yeah. So, as you're heading on down the road, you notice that it's actually unexpectedly, as you look at your map, it's really forested. This place is like it's shaped. Best way to say it, it's sort of shaped like a trapezoid. It's sort of very, very steep until it rolls off into the bay. But at its point where you're walking along the path, it's very wide and very open, and there's trees sort of just coming up and eclipsing the cliffside or hillside rather. Very steep. You wouldn't want to fall here. And the path is sort of grown over. You can sort of figure it out because there's not any like big trees in the way. You can sort of just follow the big trees down the curve. But this road has not been traveled in a very, very, very long time.
Fair. All right. Let's push forward then, I suppose.
All right.
I still don't trust Mullins, so I'm still gonna, without saying anything to the man, slink off and keep my distance. If he's leading us to an ambush, I don't want to be caught out in the open.
Fair point. Your companions sort of stick with you in that regard. Their lack of trust is quite apparent, and your lack of trust is only reinforcing what they're thinking. So, you see this. You see Team Rocket sort of skulking in the back together. And, sorry, I had to. And you hear the snapping of a twig. Who jumps? I mean branch. It's not branch.
Let me roll on that.
You want to make a sanity roll to see if you jump?
Oh crap! I jumped.
You jump. You jump quite ferociously. Who is the nearest person to you?
I guess it would be the guide.
You like leap forward into him and bump him. Are you well?
Kind of jumpy. I'm not sure what it is.
I've noticed. Nod and look around.
Can I do a spot hidden? Because that branch came out of nowhere, you know.
Yeah, go ahead and make a spot hidden. I just imagine like a branch like glitching in the middle of the air, just going and it disappears from existence. Alright, success.
Alright.
Yeah, we're back to it.
There's something. I don't know the best way to say this, Mikolai, but there's something watching you.
Something.
Mm-hmm. You're not sure what it is, but there's most certainly something watching you, and you can see it moving.
I consult Ellis if something is watching us. I load my weapon.
Man, what's wrong? I imagine I'm somewhere between Nihilus and Ellis, I'd assume.
I will also put my hand on my weapon and maybe roll track to see if I can get a good gauge of its size or what it might be.
You might be able to figure out what it is with the track, so go ahead. Also, you have an elephant gun and you have a pistol, so...
Ooh, nice, Natalie.
Well, depending on what I find out, will depend what weapon I pull out.
You see the tracks in the path, sort of like being the grass was trampled by wet and muddy feet. Immediately you realize quadruped. The way the foot pads are arranged, some sort of lupine creature.
Okay, Ellis would know what that is.
It's a wolf.
That's a wolf. Okay.
Giant. It's a giant wolf because this thing's like paw prints are the size of your hand.
Elephant gun time.
You're probably gonna want something.
Whatever is hunting us is quite large and possibly a dire wolf based on the size of the tracks I'm seeing. And I have not seen one of those in my area of the forest before. So,
Well, do you promise me
I don't-
protection? Mullen sort of fall back to the
What-
rest of the group.
you think I'm carrying this gun around for fun?
Looks like an entertaining piece of machinery.
You want to find out?
No.
I suggest you keep your mouth shut.
He's gonna put his hands up like, message, understood. Hear you loud and clear.
All right then. So how are we gonna do this? And Stoneworker's gonna close his fist, and his hand is gonna calcify until there's like stalactites sort of stabbing out of his knuckles.
I'm going to do a stealth roll.
Oh, okay.
Wolves usually hunt in packs, so we should keep an eye out on all directions, I would think.
Decimus looks to Nihilus and gestures like, should we let these idiots die for us?
I point to Ellis and the stoneworker. Like, they can die. They can die for us. We need to learn. We need the young one to learn from the old man still.
What did I do? What did we do?
I don't really know, but we're gonna do something.
He's not
you
very
like-
well. He's not very well
You like
adjusted.
Nikolai's kielbasa that much?
No. No, but he's got a lot of knowledge he could pass on.
Okay.
It's a good,
I see how it is. I guess we're just stupid then, me and the stoneworker.
Nihilus is a bastard.
Yeah, he does seem to be a bit of a chocolate-coated bastard with bastard filling.
chocolate-coated bastard. Nikolai, make your stealth check if you're hiding like a coward.
Like a coward.
No, I'm sneaking up. I'm sneaking up on them. This is this.
Okay.
What do you call it? Taking initiative.
Okay, well you be all right. You make your stealth check, pal.
We see him start to walk off.
Oh crap! All right, I'm not very stealthy.
You sort of you start making your way down the sloped hill, and you're making your way tree to tree, but you're making quite a bit of noise. Your feet are shuffling through fallen leaves and other detritus of the wood, and you're not being sneaky like you think you are. And Alice, you're just watching this, and you hear sort of like making his way.
Yeah, buddy. We can all hear you.
That's what I wanted. La 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 la. la.
Oh, you're the distraction. Okay, good, cool.
We should probably try to get out of the woods if we can. Let's try to push through to the other end then. If we're lucky, they might leave us alone until we, become an obvious food or meal. But if it's you said it was watching us?
So you think?
Stalking, perhaps.
Dog stalking.
Either way, it's not attacking us yet, and if we know about it, I'm gonna look around and see if I can spot anything else hidden nearby, like any others.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a spot hidden check for me.
Spot hidden.
Nice.
Yeah, by the edge of my teeth.
There are more tracks than just these, and they're of differing sizes.
It looks like there's more. And they're not all as big as this. This might be for the alpha or mother. I don't know what you would call it here. We don't have these by us.
I have Mullins make a check.
Can I drive auto?
Drive
You
the
have
wolf.
a car?
No.
You just hear like a car whirring.
Just jumps on its back and starts it like a motorcycle.
I'm getting SpongeBob. It's not a boulder, it's a rock. Feel vibes out of that so hard.
It's a
Oh,
pioneers
but,
should ride these babies for miles.
Hold on there, Jeffro.
okay, so let's see. As you're sneaking around, Nikolai, you see something as you're like sort of panning over the environment. You spot something on your peripheral, and by the time you look at it, it is leaping at you, and it is coming closer to you, and its claws are buried, and so are its teeth.
Oh no.
You gonna try to
Do
dodge
it.
or fight back?
Should I dodge or fight back?
Oh,
Don't
which are
ask
you
me,
better
I'm
at?
asking you.
Whichever one gets you not dead, please.
Alright, since my weapon is ready, I'll shoot.
Okay. I believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Let me check fight backs real quick. But go ahead. Make a weapon attack.
Weapon attack.
Nice.
Technically, you can't fight back with a gun, but since this thing is leaping at you, you have plenty of time to sort of,
Oh.
shoot at it. So.
The midair anime shot moment.
Okay, so roll your damage for us because it is not 0.3 repeat.
What's that? What is it? 46?
Well, let's see. It's not like immediately in your face just yet.
46, what, 2d6 or 1d6, depending on the range.
Okay, make a spot hidden check, and we'll determine the damage that way.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, you get 46, I guess.
Let's go.
All your damage,
That's a good roll.
Damn. Damn.
Okay. This giant mangy-looking beast leaps at you, and as soon as it gets right in your face, you take your gun and you jam it up underneath its jaw and blast it, and it splatters everywhere. You took this thing's head clean off. Without realizing it, you accidentally pulled both triggers on your son up, so it's empty right now. But this thing's head is off.
Hell yeah.
You hear
Nice.
a howl nearby as that happens.
I run away to reload. Can I move?
Yeah, you can.
I run to reload.
Why not even bother? Just give you these combos.
There's no kill quite like accidental overkill.
You come back to the group and you realize that everybody in the group realizes that the sort of like pitter pattering and the crunching of leaves and stuff like that has just gone completely quiet because it's been sort of fading off in the distance. So that gunshot seems to scare a lot of them off. Nikolai, you come back covered in blood, like just from like your face is just like painted with blood and sinew and like fragments of bone and teeth. You made a Jackson Pollock out of that thing.
I've got dinner.
Yay. Sauerkraut and wolf.
Grouse.
Just sort of,
Do we eat those in the AEUS?
what, can you eat wolves? I suppose you can. It's going to be very gamey and stringy. It's very muscly. They're very active
Oh, yeah.
animals.
And you might want to cook it first. Like, not
Yeah,
shotgun
you probably
fire
don't
cook
wanna
it.
eat.
And preferably not with a fire torch.
I was wondering why I was seeing movement on the audio tracker for YouTube, which is just the internet. And I
Yeah.
didn't realize until now that you turned on ambience. When you said earlier something about wind ambience, I was like, oh, he heard the wind ambience in the music. Okay, cool. Nope. Cool beans. I was just worried about that for a while, but that's good. Okay, I figured it
you're
out.
This is why we love Derek. Everybody loves Derek. Okay, so as far as you know, you're alone on the trail again, covered in blood, but you're alive, and you just pop 2 more shells into your shotgun. Make sure you keep track of the amount of shells that you have. So subtract 2.
Okay. Where's that? Is that in the positions?
Maybe. Let me double check real quick. While you're doing that, what do the player characters have to say about blood splattered man?
Hope that's not your blood.
Like he has
Otherwise,
that much blood inside of his entire body.
he smells very metallic, very
I can
coppery,
bet.
and the blood of this creature that he just massacred is very greasy and slick.
suppose there's a nearby creek or river, stream, any water source.
Yeah, you're very close to the bay actually, so it wouldn't take too long to sort of just clean off, which is probably what he should do.
Yeah, I'll go bathe. You know.
I was gonna say you don't want to get like mad wolf disease or anything like that.
Yeah, I smile through the blood with like shiny white teeth.
We should probably keep an eye on him just in case the wolves try to take any other attacks at us. That was one out of a pack of many.
Not particularly keen on seeing any of you bathing yet, so I'll hang back.
You sort of make your way down the hill, a sort of small clearing, and you make it to the bank of this small gulf. And not too far away, you can see the old man's house is sort of like perched up on a hill on the precipice, overlooking things. Lives a cozy life. So I'm assuming you're cleaning the blood off of your face.
Oh yeah, I'm taking it all off and doing that little Baywatch scene. You know?
A slow motion running through the water.
Yeah, just
God.
like this, you know.
I'm getting really strong old man in YMCA shower vibes right now. Like that, you didn't need to take your bathing suit off, but you did. Thanks, I needed that.
Just walking
I
through
get
the
that.
locker room with a towel in your hand and not around your waist.
Not
for
on
some
you,
reason.
yeah.
Thrown over your shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
Fucking old man meat. Anyway, so, who's going with him, or is he just going by himself?
I want to look over the body.
Oh, the wolf. Okay.
I'll keep an eye on Mikolai to make sure nothing else, tries to attack him again while he's naked and vulnerable and coated in
Yeah.
blood.
I point to Alice and I do a come with me gesture.
I'll look over at Nikolai and I'm like, maybe, no, I guess I'll go with Nihilist. Like, I briefly consider just going and doing that instead, but in the end, I'm like, okay, fine.
Fine, we'll go dig through a wolf's corpse.
See stranger naked or investigate wolf's corpse.
So, yeah, it's a hard decision, right?
Right.
I'd take the wolf corpse personally, just saying.
Yeah, oh, that's where I'm going. I just don't want to be around nihilists. That's where the
That's fair. That's fair.
So, okay, so let's see. You approach the corpse, the two of you, and this was a decent-sized dog. It wasn't quite as big as you might have anticipated it to be. So this might have been a younger one. Regardless, this thing is easily 150 pounds. So
it's a. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It's a dog, though. It's not a wolf.
No, it is a wolf.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
just
just
a
wanted to clarify.
dog-like creature.
Gotcha.
Very big. And you can only imagine that the one that you're looking for is even bigger.
Yay.
This thing's head's gone. Like, there's like parts of it, like sinew. You can't even identify what part connected to the head and stuff like that at this point. It's just a mess.
Well, that's a wolf, all right. Don't reckon it's the one we're looking for, though, because it's a bit on the runty side.
I kick it with my boot.
It is kicked. Nothing happens. You're not used to seeing mammals
Right,
To be
that's
quite
what's
fair.
weird to this about Nihilus. He's gonna do his best to try to skin it anyway.
Okay. I'll check what that be.
Knife? Or, well, knife I only have a 10 in.
Knife would be in combat. Plenty of ways to skin a wolf.
Mm.
Bond just said, "Why kick?"
To make sure it didn't, to make sure it needed its head to survive.
That's actually a fair thing. For you.
Yeah, it's it is AEUS. Weirder things are out there.
I'd say that Ellis would be better suited to skin this thing. That being said, the pelt's gonna be looking like shit because the head is gone. But yeah, I guess you could remedy that. It'll just be a smaller pelt than what you would have once wanted.
I guess I will use sleight of hand. Slide my hand down.
You know what?
Nothing at my hand, nothing at my sleeve, and no skin on you.
I'm like, whoop, whoop. Presto, it is skinned.
So sleight of hand and natural world.
Good with
both of those
that.
checks.
Nice.
Okay.
Success, hard success.
Spaghetti. Fuck.
We never renamed it. It's okay. Oh wow. So
Not the first wolf I've skinned. Probably won't be the last.
yeah, you got another one to skin this evening, evidently. So you skin this thing quite masterfully. You just sort of like step aside, peasant, and
Let the expert handle this one.
yeah, no, you know exactly where to cut this thing along the gut, around the legs. I almost said arms. Yes, dogs have arms. You take the pelt clean off. Like I said, it's a little bit smaller than you would have liked because of the head, but you did a really excellent job. And you have a tanner with you, so
Oh, yay.
yeah, you got yourself a little wolf cloak. Isn't that lovely? But yeah, it's a decent sized hide. At the end of the day, it's about the size of what is it the size of? That's a good question.
For a blanket?
150-pound wolf? Yeah, sure, a blanket. I think a blanket would be apt. Yeah. It's pretty freaking big. So.
Alright.
Nikolai might need a towel once he's done.
Dry off with a dirty, smelly.
You're not getting
all
my
the work.
you're not getting my fur cloak here. And he's literally just like throw you like probably one of like the rags. It's a linen. It's hempen. So
How close are you
it'll
to the
work.
water, stoneworker? How close are you to the water?
Me? I figure he would probably be if Shion has brought his buddy, has brought our friend like into the water, he'd probably get around, I want to say, 5 feet away, and then sort of like toss the blanket towards him.
Being near the water makes you incredibly uneasy. You're not particularly sure why, but you have this sort of like sickening feeling in your gut.
Yeah. What the hell? And he's gonna kneel down, and he's gonna put a hand and sort of like scoop it into the soil, in like the silt, the watery silt by the beach, and sort of like scoop it up and try to take a closer look at it.
As you reach your hand into the water, your hand becomes preternaturally cold.
What the hell? Can I use geology to find out what the hell's going on with this?
Sure.
All right. This is where my extremely limited set of skills comes in handy. But they are skills.
Skills
See.
nonetheless.
Indeed. Let's see. Just gotta open this wide enough for me to actually see what's going on. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. Open it. Give me a second. Just need to get to it. The natural world. It should be right about here. So weird sometimes. I feel like this thing literally disappears like skills right as I'm about to use them. I'm still not used to it quite.
Unforgivable.
Let's see, where the hell is it? I just had it. It's like one of the few things I actually invested. There we go. Jesus, at the top of arts and crafts for some reason. Okay. See what we get?
Nice.
Hell yeah.
There's a reason that this place is called the Bay of Soot.
Oh, shit. It's dust, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
He literally throws it on the ground. Ugh, damn it. Well, that's a problem.
You aren't going to be able to use your powers near the water.
All right. Bathing time's over. Come on out. Come on out, old man.
Nikolai's gonna dry off, and his bald head shining in the summer what is it? Summer glow, you know. And he has like a 6-pack, and what do you call it? He's like just like shining, you know.
Oh, like Master,
Character.
like Master Roshi, old man ripped, kinda.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Enjoy your bath, old man.
It's quite good.
Imagine. You didn't drink any of that water, did you?
Oh yes, I gargled.
Try not to drink the water around here. I don't think it's safe.
Nikolai will take a look at the water. He's in a spot hitting again. He's like, the water, something's wrong with the water.
Something in the water.
No. Is this like
the
a
water hole?
flint mill? There's lead in the water. Oh crap.
Jesus, when you fail hard.
You don't have them, like, you're not rolling a d100. You're rolling a d10 to d90. Like, that's all it is.
You see a very tiny fish move by your feet.
He's gonna run out of the water.
It's nothing in the water.
It's beginning of the end.
It's something that's in the soil. And he's gonna try to use his other hand and use his sort of geomancy powers to sort of like scoop a small bit of the soil out and see if it reacts to his magic. He's not exerting himself in any way. He's just sort of like doing what he usually does.
It limply sort of responds, but not well at all.
It's sluggish, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, Nikolai, you've heard of dust before, right? Not the kind on your shelves.
Dust.
Yeah. He's gonna just let the dirt hit the ground and like splat.
I have it on the shelves at the shop.
You did have a vial of dust that you traded for to have the gang leave you alone. You know what it is. You're not sure what it's capable of. It's very valuable.
I think we should take some with us.
It's dangerous. If it's not stored properly, refined properly, it could kill you. Doesn't
Nikolai,
let.
It's dangerous for a tethered. He's a tethered. So is Nihilus.
Oh,
Am I the
so-
only untethered or not
No.
tethered person?
It's Nikolai and you are the only untethered in this party.
Nikolai and Alice are not tethered.
Team
Alright,
untethered.
well,
Team mundanity.
Sure, it's
yeah, Nikolai will take some home with him just in case the stoneworker turns on him.
Yeah, the stoneworker is gonna be the one to turn on.
Mhm.
So wait, are
sort
you
of,
like scooping it up in front of me
Just in case. For later.
to kill you?
Just make some water bullets,
water
for my
bullets.
shotgun.
Shoot water out of your gun.
You could in theory do that. You just need like a case that would like explode once it leaves the end of the barrel, which it probably would. You could probably do that. You got engineering.
Good, but
just kidding. I'm
Actually,
giving you a hard time.
that's not efficient. Like you're better off like throwing water at somebody.
I'm just thinking of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So
No, it's possible. It's possible.
So you like spit shine a few like files and stuff like that you have with you, and you like scoop up some of the water.
Yeah.
Be careful with it.
I put it in my possessions
Okay.
so I could
Add
trade.
a vial of water to your inventory.
Oh yeah.
You've invented
Coming
bottled
through.
water. Congratulations.
Holy water for the tethered. We're officially vampires now. He's just gonna sort of pat Nikolai on the back, sort of like a gentle kind of like, all right, let's get moving, kind of like an assisting push, if it will. All right, let's get up there again. We have walking to do, and I don't want to run into any more wolves or whatever is in there. Can I ask a quick question, Red?
Absolutely.
Is there any way for me to extrapolate how abundant dust is? Like, is this the only place where this is, or is this whole region, including the water up to the mountain, polluted like this? Is there any way for me to figure that out, or like derive that with understanding of geology?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay,
See if you can sort of put two and two together.
30 out of 50.
That's why the technology works here.
Literally, his eyes shoot open the second he realizes it. He's like, that makes so much sense. And he looks at Mikolai as he's walking up the hill. Their entire civilization is an accident. Oh my god, their whole civilization's going to crumble. Whatever, it's not my job. He's going to walk up the hill after Mikolai.
There's dust in the water.
There's dust in them waters.
Well, no, you can figure that by that logic, there's so much dust in the water that the entire land is saturated with the stuff, therefore the air. So that would kind of make sense why your powers haven't been exactly what you wanted them to be.
Right.
They're probably only going to get worse from here on, and weaker. So, that's the information you can choose to share with Nihilus or not share with Nihilus.
That's interesting. Okay, thank you. I am making a note of that in my notepad.
Yeah, I'll protect the stoneworker with my shotgun.
You'll protect him. Loads the gun and points it at him. I'll protect him.
Protect you from your own heretic self. Imperial Guard Commissar protection.
Who's going to protect you from me?
Yeah.
Fire in my position.
I'm protecting your immortal soul, heretic. Oh, God.
Anyway, so you guys get back onto the path. There's sort of an uneasy silence as you all can choose whether or not to decide anything that you have found, or decide to speak on anything that you found.
I'm clean as a whistle, so I'm beaming, you know.
You're positively glowing, darling.
Beautiful. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's magical poisoning in the water. Who knows?
Maybe it's Mikola.
Yeah, maybe it's Mikola.
I hand Mikolai the fur, even if I had to like strip it from Ellis with force.
This is my fur cloak now. I got this big ol' gun.
I just raise my left hand, which is a claw. And then I look over to like Mikolai's direction. Like he's implying like it was his kill. I thought he should have it.
You want this old fur cloak?
Is it old?
It's very ragged. It needs to be cleaned. Mullins is eyeing it like must-do job.
If you want it, I'll give it to you. But it's gonna cost you.
I've got this bottle of water.
I would have no reason to suspect that this water is not something I should take, but it was a hard, dirty job, and
Nice bottle of water. Really hit the spot.
I've got a flask of water on me, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you do. But another one would be great.
What else?
So it's not salt
Right.
water.
Trade offer. I receive cool cloak. You receive bottled water.
With asterisk on it. Yeah.
What else do you have?
Oh no. I brought nothing.
Alright, let's just
Effort,
say you owe me
effort.
one.
While this is happening, Stoneworker's going to go over to Nihilus, but that'll be something we can talk about after this interaction.
I'll give you the cloak, but you owe me.
Alright. Mikolai, he takes the cloak and he examines it.
It reeks.
This looks like it looks like the wolf I killed.
It
It does
is.
look like the wolf you killed. Good observation. It has brown and gray tawny fur. It's very coarse and thick. Like I said, it needs to be cured because it probably has like mites and stuff all over it. That being said, you don't have
Alright.
any hair on your head to worry about. So.
Yeah. I asked Mullins if he can assist with his knowledge.
Give me an evening and a lot of water, and I'll get it done.
Oh, I need water? I give him the water.
The Stoneworker is going to literally like hold a hand out like, never mind.
He's gonna take it.
He's gonna
Sort of
treat
just
your
shrug.
cloak with dust. Cool.
He's gonna drink it.
He's gonna drink it.
Wait, is he like reaching out to drink? That's the
Yeah.
case,
He
then the
To
Stoneworker's 3 steps across to cross the distance, and then like hand on the water bottle. It's like,
Squeeze it.
here, and he hands him his water skin. And he turns to Mikolai. Don't drink that.
and you were gonna give it to me?
It's just a little dust.
Oh, okay. Just a little,
Dust in Alice's
just a
eyes
little
light up.
dust in the water that you were gonna give me after I spent all this time and effort getting this fur off the wolf for you. Oh, that's cool.
Decimus looks to Nihilus and says, "Dust? Did I hear dust?"
She's been drinking it her whole life.
Me?
No, then she should be fine.
This is just,
I've been drinking it my whole life.
Yeah, you've been drinking water like that your whole life. I don't know why all of a sudden they're caring about how the fact it has dust in it.
Nobody told me there was dust in the water.
Yeah, you didn't know, so it just looks like regular old drinking water to you. You don't know.
Oh.
I mean, also, none of us have, until this moment, told you that there's dust. Do they know that there's dust in their water supply or in their soil? Is that like common knowledge for the region?
Not really.
Okay,
What,
It's nothing they really thought about. It's just like, oh, technology works here.
that's fair.
what does Ellis know dust to be?
Make a natural world check, I think. Because dust has become a very natural part of the world.
I don't know shit about it, apparently.
I don't know shit about fuck.
I've heard about it, but I mean, I thought I was safe from it out in the woods.
What you know about dust is, it's valuable. That's about it. You don't really
Like
know
a
much else about it.
drug, or I don't know.
People like it. for some reason. You don't know if it's like something collectible like diamonds or sought after like diamonds rather, or gold. But the dust sells for a pretty penny. You don't
I've
know.
been siphoning my water this whole time. I could have paid off my debts.
Now you understand
Hmm.
what that prospector was up to.
That
You
makes
know,
so much
Talk like this. I'll get you.
sense.
With all the supplies for panning. It's all coming.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Well, let's store that knowledge up here for when I get back to my cabin, and then I can retire.
Thank you, Crunk.
Oh yeah,
It's all coming together.
I kind of sound like Patrick Warburton sometimes.
In the best way, man. In the best way. You nailed it.
Thank you. My old WoW guild used to call me Kronk, and I was about to kill the person who called me that. Because I was so sick of them calling me Kronk, because they actually didn't remember my actual name.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, hard to remember Red, you know?
Yeah, it's so, well, I went by something even simpler back then, like, Jesus.
Just R.
No, I went by Van. Like, how can you forget that? Like, oh, hey, it's Van.
Oh my god.
All my names are one syllable, okay? Like, it's not hard to remember, alright? Like,
Big mood, man.
anyway. You guys get back on the path, and you realize that, it sort of
I did
occurs
want-
to you... I'm sorry?
I did want to talk with Nihilus, though, for a moment,
Oh.
or his coterie before then. Or at least, like, while we're walking, like, fall back to it, talk with him directly.
As you try to approach him, Octavia steps in front. And she just smiles like... What?
So, we need to talk about something relevant to the region.
Well, then you can talk to me.
He literally looks at her with that, are we really going to do this in the middle of nowhere with nothing to prove to anyone kind of look?
She purses her lips and turns her chin up like, you bet your sweet ass.
Fine. Alright then. But keep it quiet, and your master would want to know. When we were down by the water, I noticed something in it. As our friend Nikolai mentioned, there's dust in it. The Bay of Soot is polluted entirely with dust. And that feeds into the entire region. This entire region is choked with the stuff. And your master there's tethered like me, right? You see our problem.
I see your problem.
You're going to see his. You're going to see his. The further we go in, the more we're going to depend on carrying water. The more we're going to depend on external sources of food. If we eat things here, if we drink things here, it's going to affect our power.
Well, whilst you were busy doing whatever it is you were doing, my master is already aware of the fact that there is dust in the water. So
And
be
he's-
on your way, Stone Man.
He's going to lean in a little closer. Then ask yourself this. We're going to take on Tethered in a place filled with dust. Have you accounted for that?
Absolutely. Every provision and every foreseeable outcome has already been calculated for. I cannot speak for your primitive state of Glasgow.
Oh, don't
No.
say I didn't warn you.
Go talk with
And-
the Lester people.
He's going to, at that, turn and bring a finger to within like an inch of her face. Like a complete, like, stone shattered claw. Like, and you can see this close that his fingers, his entire hand, isn't held together. It's stone in the shape of a hand,
No
held
fear.
together through force of will. Don't talk down to me. I respect your master as a peer, and I will respect you as a traveling partner. But if you talk down to me again, your master's going to need to find another new apprentice. He's going to turn around and walk towards the front. Threat? No. Promise. He's going to turn around and walk to the front.
As soon as he knows that he's gone, he's gonna walk over. Master, there is dust in the water. What should we do?
You're not tethered. Gather it.
I'm just...
Nikolai, what do you think that was all about?
Yeah, we were far enough back where I figured you guys probably just saw us like, fuck you, and then walk away.
Just like eating leftover beef jerky or dry tack or something, just like, wonder what they're up to.
Yeah, they just talking loud.
That looks like a little more than talking. No, maybe your eyes don't work so good, though.
Yeah. Got some dust in them or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
When the dust gets in your eyes. Let's see. So you guys are back on the path, heading towards... Oh. Whoa. You say thanks? What did I do?
Oh, yeah, for, the other side.
Oh.
That's it.
Holy shit, it's had the biggest fucking brain fart. What just happened? I just like zoned out. Oh, you guys are back on the road, right?
You're good, man.
You're heading down this path. This path is obviously the path not taken by Robert Frost. And it's...
So deep.
So deep. Almost deep as Bob Chili himself. So you're approaching and you realize that this sort of like leads up. So it's not just like a sort of it's the Hillacious formation. Hillacious is a word that I came up with, by the way. I found out that it's not actually a word, but it's a
like it
word.
could be. Yeah.
What can I say? I'm a regular Shakespeare. Yep. Hillacious. Coin me on it. So it sort of like leads up to this sort of almost flat thing, and then you realize it's sort of like climbing up. And at the very top, you see a sort of like craggy outcropping. And you realize that this is some sort of, well, you wouldn't really know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Tower?
Watchtower.
Yeah, it's
lighthouse, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Artist credit, Scott Chu. Magic the Gathering. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for letting us use this stuff. Don't sue.
Don't DMCA my stream, please.
I thought DMCA was the name of that like hip hop group.
No, that's
DMC.
That's the joke.
Oh.
Oh my god.
We were all concerned for a moment, like, oh no, the youth don't know.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, he just doesn't know.
Run DMC, they did that cover of Aerosmith song, and that's how they got popular.
My old man heart.
Anyway, as you're walking this way, you sort of see this. It's sort of a decrepit tower, but attached to it's a smaller like shack that you'd imagine that somebody's staying in. But it's sort of like in disarray. It doesn't look very painted or preen. It just looks sort of like it's abandoned. To be quite frank, it's quite large. It is a quite large tower. It isn't just like it's not. It's wide. It's very wide. You'd imagine at least to be about 40 to 50 feet wide. It was once a pretty prodigious tower, but you can sort of realize that at one point, something of it fell off, and then they decided to rebuild on top of that. This might be pre-event. You're not sure.
Can we look around?
Absolutely. Any checks are appreciated.
All spot hidden.
Kira just said a watchtower. Is there something along it? Yes.
Nice.
all along.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's 100.
Oh.
There you go.
Hard success. Okay, we're back on track with you.
Mm.
You sort of realize that this place has been attacked. You can sort of see like the inverted indentations, like nipples of like gunfire, like striking into metal and wood and stuff like that. And you realize that this place was shot at some point. You're not sure how long ago it was. You can't really tell how fresh these holes are. God, I'm saying so many phallic syllables. But you can tell that this place was raided for some reason. You're not quite sure why. This seems like a very strange place to raid. It also seems very easy to fortify. But yet again, there's no walls around it. So it's just open season. Very quiet, very eerie. And the only thing that's really making noise is the sound of the gentle waves crashing against the crag and the precipice below.
I think our friend is dead.
Oh shit, I forgot there's supposed to be someone here.
I think our friend is dead.
Can I
Literally.
stealthily try to climb up the side of that, like, burnt out, like, broken, fallen off part?
You may try.
I'm going to use my claw to, pink, like, into the wall
Okay.
on the ground level before to see if I think it can support my weight.
Well, it's metal. You sort of hear it creak and echo and protest as you even make contact with the thing. But, I mean, you're not too heavy, right? You know, you're more of a lean fellow, so maybe.
He's no stone worker.
No, he's no stoneworker.
You're not built like a brick shithouse.
You're not built Ford tough.
Nice.
Like a rock.
Oh,
So-
like a rock.
You get a bit of an idea. You're like, okay. You take your claws and shunt them through the metal, and you start climbing up that way.
That works.
You know,
That's not very stealthy, is it?
well, he's not trying to be stealthy, right? You're just trying to climb it.
I was, but that's okay.
Well, if you want to be stealthy, I can take that back. I'm just, I'm just
it's
throwing
fine.
things out.
It's
No, I'm
totally cool.
serious. No.
Okay. I don't imagine that if I have to, like, shove my metal claw through a metal thing, it would be that stealthy, so that tracks with reality to my mind.
Well, to be quite fair, you don't really see another way to climb this because it's just like a solid, flat surface. It's not like you're like anything to grab onto. So,
Is
you
it-
will have to forego stealthiness for efficiency.
Sounds good to me.
You start climbing this thing, and then you realize that the surface that you're climbing on that was once a flush 90-degree angle is starting to become 80, 70, 60. It's sort of like leaning in and forward, and you realize that this whole structure is sort of, not structure, but the wall itself is sort of bending against your weight. You are 2 stories up when this happens, and above you is a wooden lattice. If you are quick enough, you could possibly get to it and avoid falling. You're not sure what lie below.
Hard success. I jump.
You plant your feet on this sheet metal. You plant your feet on the sheet. Hell yeah, I'm a
Hell yeah.
fucking poet. So you you plant your feet on this metal, and then you jump off of it, and you hear it creak and like bend as you push off of it, and you realize that this whole chunk of metal that you tore a couple of holes through is just falling down below, and your hand latches on to this this wooden outcropping, this man-made floor. And you realize, as you look up to pull yourself up, there is a decrepit old man looking down at you very judgmentally.
As I pull myself up to my feet, I look out the side of the building and just start waving.
He's about 3 stories up. He's about 3 stories up, and you can just see him up there.
Is there a
I'm getting
door?
too excited.
He'd say as he pokes you with the cane and pushes you closer to the precipice.
Who the hell are you?
I point towards the fisherman's house.
He'd squint. Like, I don't trust you.
I take... Oh, shit. Hmm.
Do you remember his name? Better question, do you have a way to communicate his name?
Were we told his name?
Yes, you were.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
He referred to himself in the third person.
Yep. He isn't just tired old fisherman.
I don't
My
think I would have a
father
way
was a
to...
young fisherman.
Even if I did remember it, I do not think I would have a way to communicate this person's name, because I do not think that they speak Thastran shorthand developed between me and my squad. I'm going to intimidate him into backing down, or I'm going to try to.
Go ahead.
Oh no.
I'm not afraid of you, whippersnapper.
He'd take his cane and start smacking you with it.
Get off my tower. Get going, fool. Get off.
And he's not very strong. He's just sort of like whapping you with it. It's just irritating more than anything.
I start walking. Is there like an internal stairwell?
Yes.
Okay, I start walking down the internal stairwell, and then when I get down to the bottom, suffering the blows of this old man the whole way along, I simply open the door to allow my friends in.
That's right. Get out of. Oh, you're all coming in. Ah!
Step back and put his hands up. This place was sort of... the scenery was a bit misleading. It was the room itself is sort of in disarray, just from the fact that there's a lot of destroyed things and detritus sort of like piled up in the corner and debris. But the guy sort of carved out what was left, has a table, has places to sit, places to cook. He has all sorts of manners of like vegetables and stuff like that hanging up. He has a little garden by a man-made hole in the side of this thing, and it has sunlight coming in. He's growing flowers and all sorts of edible plants and vegetables. But other than that, this place does look like it was recently attacked. There's like shattered clay pots in the ground and dirt and dust and even the occasional bullet casing that you find. This old man is very lanky. He's easily 6 foot. He wears it better than his companion, as you figure. Long and lanky, but he doesn't quite have the broken back that his companion does. He just has a really big crook in his neck. He has in a word, he's bizarre. He has pallid white skin and wild hair that seems to jut out in every direction. Obviously, he's very grumpy and, you know.
Go on, get out. This isn't your home. Go away. Leave me be.
The old fisherman sent us to check on you.
Oh,
Said
yeah?
he
What's
had-
his name?
He's the one with the sauerkraut, grows his own mustard. He says you used to have
What's his
tea with
name?
him all the time. Oh, for God's sake, I don't remember his name. He's
Well,
the
then get
only...
out. Go. Get out. Go. Get out. Liar. Liar, liar, liar. Go away.
I'm gonna try to intimidate him myself by leaning over him. Like, and what he's gonna do is just sort of like lean and be like, he just wants to know you're okay.
He sent us with food. Look, pickles.
Make an intimidation check.
Nice.
That may be a success, but it's not
Right.
the success that I was looking for.
That's fair.
I'm not afraid of you. I've seen chickens scarier than you.
He'd slap you.
I would grab the cane, like out of midair, and just push it to the ground. Not like rip it out of his hand, but like take his hand and like guide it so the cane is on the ground and not moving, and just like, I'm not very good at being hit. He just wants to know why you haven't come to
What?
visit.
Is his name?
Did he write his name on the canned food?
That's a great question.
Make a luck
Can I-
roll.
Make a what?
Luck roll.
Can we all make it?
No, just Natalie. She's the one that thought of it.
That's fair. Thank God.
Hey.
You see the words H. Boswell written on the on one of the jars.
Old man Boswell.
Ah, why didn't you just say so? Welcome in. Come on, make yourselves comfortable.
Lets his hand go and just. Everyone in this region is going to give me a coronary, and just like walk in.
So what brings you out here again? You're checking on me. What are you, my children? If I had any.
Old man Boswell sent us to find out if you're doing okay. Here's some
he's a
pickles.
very wad. Oh, thank you. He's been expecting these. We can take them.
So, you're okay then?
Yes,
would
everything's
seem.
fine. Well, we were attacked. I did lose quite a few men, but I gave them to the ocean. Rest their souls.
Attacked by whom?
You know, never-do-wells and what have you. Highwaymen and highway ladies. Very unpleasant, I must say. They didn't even ask for my name. They did not know who Boswell was, and they immediately opened fire.
What is your name, good sir?
Ephraim Duvat. It is a pleasure to be at your service.
And likewise.
I was so hoping that would be him. I love that. I love that picture.
I love that picture too.
Thank you, guys.
It's good. It's so good.
Now that pickles are in order, I was an astrologist. So, and I had a team of astrologists, and we kept track of weather patterns, though they didn't really need us anymore. We wrote the almanacs and sent them to the mountain. Now, we cannot do that, since the only one that knew how to work a press is, dead.
It's a shame.
Nah, it's alright. I'm getting older for this shit anyway. Now for
Perhaps you should give it up and go reside with Boswell and not have to wait so long for pickles.
I never liked his wife.
Wife.
We didn't see a wife while we were there.
She died? Oh, thank goodness.
I mean, I suppose. So there you go. You go hang out with your buddy Boswell.
Go get Boswell's pickle, bro.
Wait, hold on. Why did they attack you, Ephraim?
Why did they attack? Well, I don't know. They wanted something. We didn't really have anything valuable here. They're, like I said, highwaymen and bandits looking to make an easy coin on things. Well, matter of fact, they look a bit like him. He points to Mullen.
Slowly turns to look at Mullen.
Mullins has put his hands up. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Can
Does
I?
it look like Mullins? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Do your thing.
Does it look like Mullins is wearing like colors? You know what I mean?
No, he's wearing some old tanned hide. He doesn't look like he's representative of anything but himself.
What about our guide reminds you of those who attacked you specifically?
Oh, you know, tall, mean-looking, offensive to the senses, particularly in the nose.
How so? Just
Well,
unbathed or...
Perhaps unbathed. It is, we live so close to water, you think people would know how to clean themselves.
Interesting.
Speaking of which, get out of here. You're sneaking the place up. He gestured at Mullins, and Mullins just put his hands up.
Yes. Perhaps you should wait outside Mullins, just for the sanity of our friend.
I reckon that I should. Shoot the old man a glare like, you fucker making accusations.
Call me smelly.
Would you like a pot of tea?
That would be quite lovely, actually.
You pick up the kettle off the floor.
Oh, Shit. Why do I keep accepting food and drinks from strange, dirty old men?
Low standards.
You pull out a
I'm a
little glass
trusting
vial.
person.
You pull out a little glass vial and like dump it into the kettle.
He does that?
What's that?
You said he does that,
Yeah,
old man?
he's filling the kettle and putting it on the stove that looks quite displaced.
Mhm.
Oh, the gas on this thing's acting up again. Give it a kick.
I want to keep an eye on Mullins.
I can fix that.
Let's see it.
Or should I fix it? Is that engineering or is that like
I'd say mechanical repair.
mechanical repair? Oh crap! I'm pushing it.
Hey,
Oh,
let's
there you
go.
Hey, right on. You find out that the little gas tube that hooks up to these things, you find it's just a little loose, and you just tighten it up.
I only study plants, so I don't know how shit works.
Well, yeah, you notice that Ephraim's wearing only one sock on his foot.
Eccentric.
He's a genius.
He's quite mad.
I'm quite sane, my boy. Have you tried heroin?
I'll wait outside for you guys, and he's gonna head downstairs.
Yeah, I tell the old man it was just loose tube. Just check it, man.
Ah, thank you. I don't have time to do such things. I'm busy lamenting the death of my friends, thank you.
Oh.
Indeed.
I'm just kidding. I didn't care about any of them. He smiles as he put the kettle up.
Oh.
You know how it
love
is. You
him.
can't make friends with people you work with, or you'll get too attached. I can't even remember their names now that I think about it. He'd stroke his beard.
How long ago did you say they passed?
3 days.
Oh, okay.
It's been 3 days. 3 whole days. No. Now, where are my key
That's-
bags?
That's when we met Mullins.
Has it been 3 days?
No, you met Mullins today. You met him in
Yeah, I was gonna
early
say.
in the morning. It's been 3 days since we met Mullins, you fucking idiot. It's been It feels like it's been 3 days since we've met Mullins.
3 whole days since the P-Man joined our party. The PP Man.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
Oh God.
Okay. So, as he's making tea, he finds he has a whole like tied up bundle of like homemade tea bags. What would you like, friends? He'd sort of dangle it in front of you.
Oh, anyone would be fine, I guess.
Lemongrass and lavender. How's that?
Oh, yeah, that actually sounds decent.
It's quite good. I made it myself.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Mhm.
I am sure you did.
He's gonna walk over and just like let it steep. So, what brings you so far down the road? You look like you're from the mountain, except for those 2 ugly men that left outside, or the 3, rather.
Yeah, no, we're just normal mountain folk. Just passing on through on our way to the watchtower, the watershed.
Oh, why would you want to go there? It's dreadful.
So we've heard. Business.
Ah, business and watershed? That is a bit, That doesn't make sense. Business and watershed. I don't see those people shaking hands. I'll just say that much.
It's
They're
quite a long story that we don't want to bore you with.
Oh, please. Don't.
Nikolai, you want to step in here at all, buddy?
No, I said don't. I don't care. I really don't care.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Nikolai is gonna break down and say, "These gangsters, they're trying to take everything from me. So I'm doing this job, just one job,
Then I'm
Make it
out.
to make it all better. My father's shop.
Oh, there, Nikolai. It's gonna be okay.
That really gets the waterworks going. Anyway. Do you like your tea with honey?
He'd sort of smile at you.
Yes.
His teeth were crooked.
Why do I feel like I'm gonna regret this somehow, though?
I don't have any cream. There's not many cattle around.
No
We lost our goat in
problem.
the attack, too. I ate him quite good.
Okay.
It's stringy.
Oh,
A
I'm
little bit
sure.
too much. I got a
Yeah.
bunch of fur between my teeth.
Did you clean and cook it first?
Do I look like a cook to you? I
Did
just
you eat
stuck
it
him on a
raw?
rock, toasted him over the fire.
Oh. Yeah, well, I guess we'll just take our tea and be on our way.
No, that's quite fine.
Nikolai, I think this guy's a little off his rocker.
I offer for him to come with us because we need someone who can read
No?
the stars.
Why?
I say, old man, your story reminds me of my. Come with us. Come.
You doing this?
We're gathering people.
You
The
want
highwayman, the stone gang, they're the same.
So you want me to come with you?
No, I think if you misheard him, he said something else.
Literally anything else.
Literally anything else.
Yes, of course. Forgive me. My hearing's a bit awful.
Yeah, yeah.
He's gonna go back over to the kettle.
When it whistles, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, just do that.
Do you want to jump cut to the people outside?
Yeah.
We are saving a retirement home of a continent, and I love it.
Back in my day. I remember when Boswell was a tadpole. Okay, so the two tethered are outside alongside Mullins. Mullins is seeing what he can do about that wolf pelt.
You peeing on it?
I mean, he's probably, well, yeah.
Gotta get uric acid from somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like, it's taking a piss.
It's my job.
He's just yelling at as he's pissing into a bucket.
I don't want to do this. I have to do this.
If your job was handling your own piss, you'd hate it too.
I mean, there's a reason why in One Night Werewolf, literally, like, the Tanners just trying to get killed by everyone else. There's a reason for that.
They hate their job. It's a horrible job, historically speaking.
You know what my guy slinks off to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nihilus might catch you doing that.
That's true. He is trying to be somewhat stealthy, but not super, like, discreet, I guess is the better word.
Spot hidden, you do succeed. Unless you're trying to, well, are you trying to hide? You're doing
He
it?
is trying to be, like, he's trying to be evasive or discreet about it, so yeah, I suppose it's stealth
Make a
roll then.
contesting stealth. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, hell no. I'm as stealthy as an avalanche.
96. So, you sort of hear him. There's not much soil because this place is very rocky, but he goes back some ways to where the soil is just sort of like rolling onto the rock. And you see him like toiling with it. You see it limply floating for a moment before it just plats again. He's doing something. You're not sure what he's doing though. He's up to something. This tethered here.
Hmm.
Kill him.
I would like to try and understand what it is he's doing. What could I roll for that?
Oh, did you take your entourage with you?
No, they're inside with the others.
Okay. You want to see what he's doing? What check would be appropriate for that? He's doing something with the dirt and water. So if you can justify a check to identify what he's doing, I'll sort of, let you have it.
It wouldn't be tethered combat, I imagine, because that's specifically for combat. But that's the only thing I know of that's like directly tied to tethering. You know what? I think that I can figure this out. I'm used to hunting down tethered, and I'm used to figuring out what it is that their abilities and gifts are in a moment's notice, so I can figure out how to counter it. I'm gonna use psychology.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's a good justification. I'll let you have it.
Yay.
Nice.
He's afraid. He's afraid of what would happen if you drank water with dust in it, and he's trying to find a way to filter it so that it's safe to drink. At least for him. He probably wasn't going to let you in on this. But you do have him alone. Both of you are very alone right now.
I want to try to sneak up on him.
Make a stealth.
Oof, finally I failed. I was on a fucking rip there. I had like 4 or 5 successes in a row.
Clearly, we just have too much magic to sneak. Clearly.
Well, no, yeah, you can sense him. You can sort of feel something approaching you from behind. That's sort of like slight pulling on your spine.
Yeah, his hands are literally on the ground as he's doing this, and as the soil is coming up, and he's literally trying to sort of like break it down into its most finest mineral components and literally sift them out using his powers. He knows he can't affect dust, but he can affect everything else in the soil, so he's trying to sort of shake it loose. And as he feels Niles getting closer, he just, I can sense you. Turns around and looks.
I'm holding a vial of dust that I found at the beginning of the campaign, which was last session. But in the tower, I'm holding it and I just kind of like shake it from side to side and put it away. Like, if I wanted to fuck with you, I would have done it.
He's toying with you, fucking with your mind. Like to play with the mouse before it eats.
I would say, because is it possible like that we could just, as a result of the fact that Glaswell itself is kind of used to people passing through, again, the reason they have a runic language is because it's interpretive. Like, you don't need to have someone understand the language structure. It's just like, oh, hey, what's this? Dude with spear? That must be a barrack. Dude peeing? That's a bathroom. Yeah, so like, you know. Yeah, or Tanner, exactly. Like
Tanner is like a dude taking a piss.
Right. So I can take his meaning, I assume, pretty clearly.
Sure, you can take it in the literal sense.
Yeah. He looks at the dust and, yeah, you get the idea. I was trying to tell you earlier, but your assistant is persistent. And he holds his hand out again, and he's, again, trying to sift the dust from the soil.
I watch and see how successful he is at doing so.
Well, he's not really having any luck. The dust here is actually making his effect on the land pretty weak. And you could imagine that the people that drink the water here, they're probably not going to have much effect, or you're not going to have much effect on them, or you'll have great difficulty trying to enforce your will upon these people. That's all you can figure. Unless you find a way around it, of course, which you're resourceful.
Can I ask you something, Tethastrian? And he turns around and looks at Nihilus. I realize this is going to be interpretive. But did you really know this place was saturated like this?
Nihilus just kind of tilts his head, like, no, and then shakes it.
Then my next question is, we're off to fight Tethered, off the Bay of Soot, in a region near the Bay of Soot. How are they able to manifest powers reliably? This is all they've ever drank. My hand went numb just putting it into the silt.
There's the sound of, like, unclasping and, like, leather strips being, like, unbound, and I take off my left arm, and I show you the stump. And then I, like, kind of just, like, gesture, like, weakly with it, and then I start putting it back on, and then I start cinching it tighter as if to indicate, like, they found a way to figure it out. Like, they were at a disadvantage, but they figured it out.
I think that's why the mountain wants them dead. I don't think this is because they're menacing the mountain. I think it's that they pose a threat. He's going to keep trying. I know it's probably not going to work, but he's going to keep doing it anyway. It's literally the only thing he can think of.
As you're talking, you hear the sound of footsteps approaching you. And actual footsteps. Boots. And then you realize there's a bunch. Not just 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a dozen. And we're going to jump cut back to our intrepid heroes having tea with a nothing short of a genius.
King Boomy.
He's gonna pour you a cup, and these cups are just little simple wooden cups with no handles.
Now be careful, if it's too hot to handle, it's not ready to drink.
Mikola will take the cup in hand and say, "Hot, I can feel it." And he'll like down it, you know.
It's really
You're gonna
hot.
chug hot tea.
It's very tasty.
I'm glad you like it. I hope you didn't just scald your throat.
We people from the mountain, very strong.
He's gonna walk over to his window, which is just an opening on 3 floors. Oh, looks like we have visitors.
Oh, visitors?
Mm-hmm. He gesture with his cane.
The friendly variety?
Haha, they have guns.
Oh.
And as you approach and look outside, you see a group of like 12 people, and most of them are armed. You see about 4 or 5 of them with guns. The rest of them have crude-looking clubs and weapons and stuff like that. These look like bandits.
We're on the first floor.
You're on like the 3rd.
Well, I'm gonna pull out my... Elephant guns are long distance, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's a long
Okay, I'm gonna pull that out.
Comes with a stand too, so you can like set
You-
it
You don't want to
I'm
be
gonna
anywhere near an
set it
elephant.
up.
Not if you're shooting it, that's for sure.
Can I assist with the aiming?
Sure. I'll let you have a bonus to shoot
Yeah.
when we get around to that.
Okay.
You see this. You see who is presumably the leader step forward. This leader's quite big. They're easily 6'4". They are built wide. They have a nice big leather jacket that's like scratch proof, and they have metal plates around their chest. And from head to toe, they are covered in gear, metal, or leather. And they just sort of have a mean look on their face. They have this nice, thick, coarse beard that's styled with oil, and their hair is very thick and dense. They just have this wicked look in their eyes, and they smile and they gesture.
Well, I can't believe the old man has visitors. Wonderful. More shit to steal.
It's the gang leader.
Oh, nice.
And
Oh, dude.
that's where we'll end the session.
Awesome.
Oh, damn.
Cliffhanger.
The cliffhanger. Ever
I
popular.
love it.
Awesome, dude. Awesome session, Red. Thank you, dude.
That
Yeah,
was a
that
lot of
was
fun.
great. I'm happy to be back.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
very excited to run this again. I have so many fucking drawings.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's awesome.
It's nice to be ahead of the curve with that, isn't it?
I have 3 more.
Sweet.
So I am all ready to go for next week as well.
Hell yeah. Well, I want to say thank you very much to Cassie for the gift sub. Thank you so much, Red, for the resub. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much.
Of course. brother.
All of you guys in chat, thank you for being here. Bon, all the homies hanging out. Wolfie, Neris, I saw you in there earlier. Let's see. The people that stopped by, Alec and Joel, thank you guys. We love y'all. We really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. We really love that you guys really appreciate hanging out with us and go out of your way to come watch us play games and have fun, because it's awesome to get to share it with you guys. So thank you. Let's start with shout outs. Jihan.
Oh, shout outs, shouting out all the people in the chat, thanks for the encouragement, I'm working on some music. I just got finished moving. I'll be here on Saturdays if you want to see me again.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff, man. Awesome. Natalie?
I play this game and Covet on this channel on Saturdays, and I'm on Twitter at BloodSozoBeans. That's about it.
Okay, sweet. Well, thank you. Omni, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, hello everyone. I am the last Omnitech, your favorite robot American, and thank you very much, Derek. I'm doing a lot lately. On Wednesdays, 10:30 a.m. EST, I am doing a world building for my upcoming AEUS campaign of my own. I'm calling it Building Glaswall, as we build the region, the NPCs, the creatures in the region, all of them up to building and running my own campaign using the Caltrop Core AS system we made during Writer's Block. Likewise, I'm also working on my tabletop role-playing game Legacy, Storytelling in the World Tomorrow, with a plan of running that eventually. And I stream Wednesdays and Saturdays. Saturdays kind of just screwing around days. We did one earlier this morning. So if you ever want to come in, hang out, have a fun time, and help me build a setting, by all means, pop on in. You can see me on Twitter and around.
Hell yeah.
That's me.
Awesome, dude. Well, thank you very much. Much love to you. Thank you so much for being here, as always, dude. Red, what's good in your hood?
Hi, I'm Red, and I'm wearing all blue. I appreciate you folks coming here, because this is literally all this work and story stuff I'm putting in isn't mine alone. It is hardly solely mine. All this love and effort that's been put into it has been from Omni and just Omni and the guests that we've had. I've never had this overwhelming amount of just inspiration and just the desire to build a world. That's for people that for people to watch. I've never done that before. It's such an interesting thing, and I am very much looking forward to doing another campaign in the probably distant future with Unearthed and stuff like that as well. But thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys letting me. I appreciate Derek letting me GM on this channel, because that's just really rad. But
you're awesome. You're an awesome GM.
Oh, thank you, man. It's just the voices, isn't it?
No, it's everything, dude. You're a great GM.
Oh, thank you. But if you want to see more great GMing, or DMing rather, stick around, not this next Saturday, but the Saturday after that. I believe we're going to be back to Covet Syndicate, and Derek hosts that. But enough shouting Derek out. He's got enough attention on him anyway. No, I'm joking. But I'm Redemption VA on Twitch here. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, I do 8 p.m. CST streams, and on Thursdays specifically, we have Writer's Block, where we do world building with friends. I have changed it officially because world building with words sounds awful. It's fun to say and try to get people to say it, but they never say it, and it makes me sad. So it's a tongue twister. But let's see. Oh, we're going to have KevBot, and we're going to have Space Chamber on. So I'm very much
Hey.
looking forward to having
So
those two on.
excited.
Oh yeah, and the week after that is going to be Alakazam and his wife Ina Coffin.
Yo.
So I'm
Nice.
little couple stream. Isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely?
That's awesome.
But I'm very much looking forward to that, and I very much appreciate the love and support that we see here on Derek's channel and here on my own stuff and on Omnis and all that. Of course,
You all are amazing.
Oh, you guys.
special shout out to JJ.
Oh
You-
yeah,
you
of
know
course to JJ. Yeah.
You know what you did.
Well, we love JJ. JJ's awesome. Well,
that's
thank
me, man.
good deal. Well, thank you, man. Oh, sorry, I'm cutting people off. I don't mean to.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to also mention, did we want to do the stat upgrades or
Oh
like
yeah, we
that?
can level up real quick and then make.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to do that on stream or off.
Cool.
Derek, we can get started doing that. If you want to find somebody to raid out while I'm getting everybody situated, that'd be great.
Sure. So off stream.
Yeah, we can do it off stream.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so don't go anywhere, anybody. We're going to raid into Chuck. Chuck does stuff. He is the homie. Is it Chuck does stuff or Chuck does things on Twitch? I need to make sure I'm doing the right one here. It is Chuck does stuff. Yep, Chuck does stuff. So stick around while we raid into Chuck. I'm going to make my shout outs brief because you guys know where you can find me at this point, and I just went through it all last night. Tomorrow, L5R at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Monday, Curse of Strahd Rise of Alma at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Homebrew Homies on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with the boy Red and Will, the Burnt Coin in chat. And then I'm off on Wednesdays. But thank you very much to everybody once again. We love you guys, and we really appreciate y'all. I will see you tomorrow for Samurai Sundays. Bye, guys.